You ever hear that song, Nick?
Are you singing Caribbean Queen?
No, I was singing Johnny Cash, Folsom Prison.
I wish you'd sing some Caribbean Queen.
Now we're sharing the same dream. Yeah.
Yeah, that one's nice, dude.
Yeah.
That's the awesome power of the iPhone.
It is.
People are probably like, hey, you guys aren't in the studio right now. What in the fuck is going on?
Explain it to them, because no one's watching yet. No, there's 5 people now watching.
Okay, so here's the dealio, everyone.
This is the pre-show.
Our internet is taking a cock-a-pee-pee-poo-poo on us. So because we are dedicated to you, we want to live stream this. We are trying it from our phone. Stick with us, because this might be just a nightmare as well. But we thought this was a better solution than having nothing.
No, Adam Neely says, hi, you're Greg and Nick. Hi, Adam Neely.
That's fun.
It's cool, Greg, right there. This is what you get when you give us the buck. You get the pre-show.
Do you guys want to get in there?
Rain or shine. Does it look like I'm ready to get a fuck in there?
I don't know what you're doing. You're typing with one hand.
Because I'm such a pro hacker. Hacking it up.
You look like the guy from
Hackers.
GoldenEye, when he would just do this.
Oh, I never saw GoldenEye.
I am invincible. But you played the game.
I didn't.
So you feel
I don't.
like you saw the movie.
I did.
Played the game.
That's true. No. Fuck. I mean, that makes sense of it. I think Kevin. What I was gonna do before we went back there, right, was put the link to this stream into the chat of the other stream. But I think Big Kev Dog might have shut that stream down already. Okay. Which is the correct thing. Now I'm sure people see all my Patreon posts. People, they understand what's up. That's a fucking dinosaur right there, right now.
Well, let me know when you guys are ready to get in there. I'm uploading 3 images that are taking the better part of 74. I got 5 minutes left.
The internet's so bad.
This is bad.
They have.
Wouldn't it be great if we lived in a world where Comcast was like, "Hey, your internet was bad today. We're gonna give you some money back."
Yeah, it's like happened.
Because we didn't give you. It's like going to a sandwich shop.
Oh my god.
What?
Would you? They're over here and they're like, "Would you please visit Speed Test Xfinity and try running the test again? It sends us additional info." Okay, I guess maybe that's not.
That's actually kind of cool.
All right, cool. Sorry, I was wrong. I thought that was just them being stupid, but that actually seemed helpful.
Is this the link you put?
Oh no, don't fuck it up, man.
Patreon people watching right now.
Yeah, we have 76 Patreon people watching.
Hey, 76 Patreon people. Can we tell who's in there?
You got Charles Jacobson for sure. He just said something.
What up, JG?
A red one. Convict Charles Jacobson.
I'm excited for a couple reasons. One, I'm excited to do the podcast today. 2, I'm excited to talk Thor. Because Thor, it was interesting going back and watching that again. I'll leave it there.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil my opinions for it.
I like Loki.
You're gonna have to everybody look at me while I do this because I gotta talk to the Comcast.
For just being all honest.
Yeah, but the full.
He's not in this. He's not in the movies we're talking about.
No, we've already seen one. He was like the first one.
Okay, yeah.
Loki and the Hulk are my favorites.
Loki's cool.
Greggy, do you want to take this into the thing?
Let me finish talking to Comcast.
Okay. I feel like we should still be recording this.
Oh, we're recording.
Oh, you're recording it there?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. So you just pull the archive down.
Well, yeah. Every live stream goes up as a video.
Copy.
This is the pre-show for the GameOverGreggy show.
Great, love it.
Where they get to see me do extra work. Yeah,
Then
we're pre-showing. It's happening.
Hey, everyone. There's no pre-show. But you didn't know that.
It's better than the show.
We got Cool Greg singing now. I want
More opera, man.
Opera band. Opera band.
Yeah. That happened. My words turned into a song real quick.
They're good.
They're good, man. I got some good words.
There's some great words, Cool Greg.
I hate Comcast so fucking much.
Comcast?
Yeah. If only there were any other services we could utilize.
Isn't like Monkey Brain and shit?
They're probably not great though. It's weird that we don't have Google Fiber.
Yeah.
In Northern California.
It's shit sucks, man.
I can walk to Google from here. It's weird that we don't have Google.
I don't know if you can walk. Oh,
There's a Google downtown.
Okay. I take it back. Yeah, that checks out. That checks out.
Did I say that before I realized there was a Google downtown?
Yeah.
I sure did. But I'm pretty sure I can watch San Bruno from here. Give me a day. Uncle Greg is my guide.
Let's go, man.
Uncle Greg's my Gandalf. Gandalf, what's going on with these giant birds? Could they just fly me to Mount Doom? No, stupid. Then we wouldn't make money. Piggy.
I know people talk about how like funny I was in the animated series the last episode, but dude, Andy, fuck, I dream of the things he says. It was perfect.
Andy's a natural.
Bitty bum bum.
He's got a really good. Natural delivery of lines.
Yeah.
He's got just the right amount of ham. That makes it really fun to work with, like hamminess, like ham. Don't worry about it. I'm Andy.
Okay.
It's really fun for me.
Kev.
Yep.
You're on the pre-show with us right now. Congratulations. I'm still DMing with Comcast. I'm gonna give you my PC and just have it open over there so you can answer questions during the show.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. So we're gonna stream this via your phone.
For this pre-show, post-show, yeah. Or for the pre-show, post-show thing, yeah.
All right. We have to remember to download that then.
Yeah.
To add it on.
I mean, if it doesn't work, so we just keep streaming the thing from the phone the whole time.
No. We're streaming from the phone the whole time. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
You just said pre-show, post-show.
Yep. And then I forgot.
then
It's going the whole time. That's how people will watch this podcast, or through this $1 level. Because otherwise, you wouldn't get anything.
There you go.
And then if you I know what you're saying. For the nice version on Friday, we'll download this. We'll rip off the we'll rip off the post. We'll shove it on
What
the
channel are you streaming this on?
This is all kind of funny.
Okay.
It's already going in there. What I could use from you, because I'm going to talk about it on the show itself, is if I could get the iPad holder and if I could get the power plug up. And I'll just center it there on the table.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
Thanks, Big Guy.
Are we ready to go otherwise, Kev?
Yep.
Great.
A red one! Convict gone,
It's so disgusting. There's always some part of me that every time I see this, I want to walk behind you butt naked. I just want
There's nothing gross about that. That's just free. That's just life.
Tim is my naked body.
Now, Kevin says, is this the pre-show? It is the pre-show. Again, our internet borked to hell.
Hey,
so today's pre-show is
welcome to the pre-show. Where's Andy?
Nobody knows. Nobody knows.
Where's
He doesn't
Andy?
like this job.
We got a
He
song.
doesn't respect us.
We got a song.
He is a mustard.
I want you. When are you gonna reveal your second Andy song to the people?
God, I just gotta.
You wanna give them a little
I gotta
taste?
get shirtless.
You wanna
No,
give them a
no,
little taste of it right now?
No. You gotta let him hide for it. You know.
God damn, that screen is nice on this phone.
I know, right?
I got a song. I got a sexy song for Andy. I got a sexy.
I don't even remember. That's the best part about the second Andy song is that I recorded it so long ago. I've now forgotten it. I mean, I know it's about punching him, but
Yeah, it's about punching Andy in the face.
which I think we'll all admit he needs. Someone's gonna keep him in line.
The thing is, Andy's very well adjusted, but I'd still like to punch in the face. I know that's very
Wait, you only
intimidating for a
wanna-
man my size versus
Yeah, I
size.
gotta yank these things out the side so hard, you know?
Nice.
Trevor Starkey says that's a nice looking hoodie, Greg. I was excited to get the notification that mine had shipped. Me too. I paid for this one, but I'll have y'all know I bought a secondary one as well. I want to know what it's like to be out there, be one of y'all.
Just be, you know.
I wanna be where the people are.
Is that
People are all the same. I wanna go where everybody knows.
your name? Ding 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 dings. I know. I thought so too. That's what I was gonna say.
I don't know the lyrics to the Little Mermaid, so I call it an audible.
A whole new
Don't
world.
you fucking dare close your eyes.
If you close your fucking eyes, I'll kill you. 100 dishes are out of control today. Crunch bars are up there. No one to tell us no or when to snow. Now hold on, this is gonna be tough. I want to pour myself a beer, but I want to pour it the right way. Oh Jesus, hold on. You're all in there. You're all in there already. I said, is it back? Oh, let's turn it. Let's turn it around. 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 Pop. Not too shabby. No, it went too fast there. But somebody said you need to do your dishes. Cool Greg needs to do the dishes. I mean, this is Cool Greg's job. He does this. Some would say it's all he does. Don't know if that's true. I don't know if people say that. Guys, I'm gonna pee, but I'm not gonna bring the camera in there. But remember that they can still hear you. Okay.
Don't you fucking dare close your eyes.
You're gonna sit. You're gonna get the Shuhei. This is what Shuhei gets to look out on all the time. No one to tell us no where to go. Now I'm in a whole new world with you.
God damn it. I think we're still live now. Yeah, I'm just bitching about my emails. Bitch you about my email.
Now we're in a whole new world with you. I can show you the world. Shining, shimmering stuff and things. A whole new girl, baby.
All right, let's go. I forgot my computer in the kitchen too. Beer, Shuhei. Computer for Kevin, so we need to keep talking to Comcast.
You check the hatch, Greg?
Sure didn't. We got him.
No. I don't know.
Can you check them and print them if we do?
I'm trying, but the internet is being a little butthead.
All right.
I got them crunch stuff.
Got that bunch of crunch? That's Andy's desk, and that's Cool Greg's desk. That's Andrea's desk. That's Joey's desk, but she doesn't come to work anymore. That's an extra Xbox. That's Kevin's desk.
Everything's gone to hell!
It's gonna be okay, big Kev.
Is it? We have no internet. We're doing this on this. I clicked right before it went out.
You want to take my computer from underneath my breast?
God, it tastes so good. I don't even remember the brand, but Napa something.
Napa. Yeah, Napa Smith.
Napa Smith.
What are you drinking on?
Some Napa Smith.
But the IPA or the Pilsner?
IPA.
How you like it?
It's good, man. All in the Pilsner's working right now. Did you fix it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You
I
want
like
that?
IPA better.
Understandable.
It's my shit now, man. So what's up? You excited off the phone? Do something new?
Yeah, it's fun right now. This is a good pre-show.
Yeah.
The show rolls on, as they say.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Nothing's stopping us.
It's just crazy, man.
That shit great.
We will tomorrow, though.
Huh?
That it will stop us tomorrow.
Yes. I would like to imagine we have this problem fixed by tomorrow.
I'd like to imagine a lot of things.
What else would you imagine, Kev? What else would you like to imagine?
Jetpacks,
Whoa.
DeLorean-style driving.
Now, is that based strictly off of the GTA DeLorean?
No, it's actually not based off that one at all. It's based off the other one.
Okay. So this is your pre-show for the GameOverGreggy show. Now we're here. We're in here.
So what's the idea? What are you gonna switch cameras? So you're just monitoring that thing down there?
Oh, that's a great idea.
How does audio come in? Are they hearing us okay?
Yeah, audio comes in through the microphone.
Yeah, I know, but like that's not good. Yeah.
Do you not watch like people stream or Instagram or
Not
anything?
once.
It's gonna be fun. That's a really good idea. That you just blew my mind. Because we turned that around.
It's a cool Greg idea. Just a heads
Cool,
up.
Greg. You're very smart, and I knew you doing Simpsons hit and run for forever would pay off in the end.
You guys have no idea how great this is. I'm so excited.
Now we're just gonna angle a bitch like that.
Tom Bach. What's
Tom Bach in the chat. There we go.
Tom, the internet's gone.
Now we got it. Now we got a pre-show, post-show, show.
It's gone, Tom.
I can make the frame better. I'm gonna be Nick about this, where I fucking nickel and dime it till everybody hates me.
Nickel and diamond.
And they say, "Oh, Nick, I hate you."
Are you sure you have internet connection on your laptop?
Yeah, we did in the back room. Is that you doing the Addams Family thing?
Everyone's just switching seats today because of me.
Yeah,
Isn't this fun?
we're it's
Fucking
cool
up
as world
the
we
show,
live in it. You know what I mean?
Show. Yeah, damn. Well, you guys didn't have it.
Like, and you understand what this
Look how
means?
fucking smart you are.
No, how smart Cool Greg is. This is his Instagram stream. we never knew what he was doing. He was planning for this day. He's fixed everything.
Happens sometimes, you know? You're the smartest person I know, my friend. Oh, man. You guys are making me blush. What up, franchise? Franchise.
I'm gonna give him a notebook.
I'll be back. I'm gonna go over there.
Okay. It's a good
Good to see you, man.
Yeah. What?
The fun of being the fucking online internet business, everyone. What's up, Mark Freeman? What's up, Tombot? What's up, Andrew Francis? The franchise. Let's hear it. That for good franchise. If you guys ask questions, they need to be about a word long. One word. Because they go by pretty quickly on this phone. If anyone's just joining us right now, the reason we sound like dog shit is because we're streaming from Greg's phone. Mm-hmm. We were having massive internet outages here. We think it's because of the North Koreans, but we're not quite sure.
I don't even joke about that. Did you guys talk about Hawaii at all?
No, but that was so ridiculous. Like, I feel so bad for those people.
Yeah,
So bad.
I'd be terrified right now.
I
if I was
had a
Hawaii.
friend, well, it was my sister's friend, but she was there. Thought she was gonna, thought she was gonna die.
That would suck. You'd be like, I'm gonna die. And then my mom would never let me hear the end of it. You scared me half to death. You have to leave Northern California and you have to come back home. Come home.
Your worst Elaine impression ever.
Have you met my mom?
Yeah.
You're wrong. I've worked on that impression for 37 years, son.
Like, granted, I can't remember how she sounds, but she doesn't sound like that for sure.
Definitely.
I think she sounds a little more hammy.
So you're 37 right now, right?
You today. No, I'm sorry. I'm 38.
38.
I just turned 38. It takes a few days to get used to that. 38 years old. I know, man. Can you even imagine being 38, Cool Greg? Dude, I don't care. That's 13 years from now. I'm gonna be fucking.
I don't care.
I'm just gonna be an old guy trying to fit in. I don't give a shit. You gotta get in where you fit in.
And where you fit in, motherfuckers.
Hey, Kev, do you want to call on top of this, dude?
I got no Barney. Before I forget.
I don't have a
Damn
cash.
it. Alright. What are you looking for? I got a quarter. No.
Do you need it now?
I just, before we leave, but you don't got it, it's all G.
Yeah, I mean. Yeah.
Double check.
I mean, I don't. I was thinking options, but.
No, don't fucking sleaze me.
Too bad you could
You just got
sleazed.
sleazed.
It's tripping me up because I keep looking down to see myself and I'm on the wrong side of the screen.
You on the wrong side of the screen.
That's how people see you in real life, you know?
It's genius.
Greg, Gettys, do you want to run this?
Now, I won't lie to you people watching on the bootleg stream. You might get jostled every so often because the power cord is coming up through here. And if I rub the power
Rub it the
cord,
wrong
it rubs
way.
you.
I've been rubbed the wrong way before.
I'm sure you have.
Doesn't feel good.
Stop fucking cutting people with the Sharpie.
Everybody loves it.
Not true.
Weirdo.
Not true at all.
Yeah.
Now, the big problem here for you, Nick Scarpino,
Yeah.
is that it's going to be impossible for you not to look at the comments. Don't look at the comments.
I can't see them.
Or I will
My
slash out
eyesight's
your
pretty
eyes.
gone anyway. So, I'd like to look at the comments, but
We don't do that. Only recorded
We
video
don't do
show.
that shit here.
Oh, hold on. I might be able to.
Tim, can I hear you?
Some bullshit on my LaCroix.
no, don't worry about it. I don't have no problem with it.
I'm going to hide them from you, Nick.
Here's the thing. There's two things I can look at. There are comments, and there's myself. Which one of those things do you think is gonna be a
You've
little
always
more
been able to
appealing
look
me?
at yourself on the thing.
I like to give myself a little, how's your father down there, you know? Little, how's your father?
Hey, it's me. I've been talking to this
I
the
don't
whole
know
time.
what you're talking
Yeah?
about.
Hey Nick, can we hear you, bro?
Check one. Cool Greg is the knight. He is the Batman we deserve and we want. He is the bad mamma jamma. He's got a little bit of a shaved head. Did he do it himself? Nobody knows. Maybe he's got a guy. Maybe Armani shaved his head. Armani shaved his head.
Was it Armani?
Can't see that much crunch.
Dig. That's
I missed a little bit of the bunch
name,
of punch
Armani Deep Dig, right?
story. What did
Armani's
Greg
full
do?
name?
Greg said, "Hey, I love like
Don't
Messi's
dig.
dropping the
Listen up.
fucking ball or something."
I said I love on the when you guys were still on vacation, Kevin and I came in and played PUBG, and on that stream, Nestle's social media person is the best friend and was watching, and then they tweeted at us, and then they sent us a bunch of
That was
questions.
nice.
I sent us
So,
a
dude-
bunch of pictures.
Huh? I don't know, because it started early, so I think we should record just when they're going into the real show.
That's probably funny.
But make sure.
You want to clap?
Well, we haven't started recording yet.
I'm saying
We also
you can start recording. And
we also don't no longer do audio recording because the fucking audio
Switcher's
board
gone.
shit the bed.
Sure.
Too.
Sure.
I don't know what's wrong with it. It stops recording after about 15 seconds.
The audio board?
Uh-huh.
Well, that's not good.
What's the update on the Switcher?
It's ready to get picked up.
Oh, nice.
It's the worst update. The absolute worst update. Where they go, oh, everything's okay. And
Yeah,
I'm
we
like, that's the
tested
last
it.
thing I want to hear.
What did you change? Nothing. It's all okay.
Yeah, they were like, oh, we tested it for 2 days. Everything was fine.
Huh.
And it's
It's like, well,
Here's what they
It's
did.
a ghost here.
Here's what they did. They plugged it in. They turned it on for 1 minute. They're like, it looks fine to me. And they turned it off. I
I'm
guarantee
sure they
that's
put
what
a
it
video
is.
feed into it and they just left it there for 2 days. And it's like, alright, well, we run 9 video feeds into it. 9.
Well, we'll see.
That's not true. Alright, I'm gonna call it Comcast. You wanna
Okay.
start rolling?
what are you going to call him?
Ha!
Billie Jean King is what I'd call him.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Billie Jean King.
Start on the timer there.
Now we're sharing the same dream. Look at me make it dance. Now the big question is, can I go backwards?
What?
And the answer is no.
Why would you think that would happen?
You know what, dude? Who's to explain why nature is nature?
But explain, what was your thought process?
I was
then?
coming down hard on this way. This one was coming down harder and changing it that way. So if I came down harder
Oh.
here, maybe I could change it back the other way.
Got it.
You don't know until you try.
You don't know.
You think
until
Hunter
you
Pence
try.
knew he could hit home runs, so he went out there and fucking cracked one off, a Major League ball player?
Cracked one off. That made it sound sexual.
It
We are
always-
rolling, so whenever
Okay.
you're ready.
You want to clap in?
Clap's no longer doing anything.
I thought you wanted to sync with this guy.
Yeah.
I was just,
3,
Alright.
2, 1.
I'm just gonna go to where the show starts.
Do whatever you want to do, man. All right?
Live your life.
Fucking
Live your best life.
Go eat a bucket full of Bucket Crunch. It's going to be a rough one.
It's gonna be good.
That was your pre-show. Let's do a real show.
Oh god damn it.
Great, Kevin.
I'm sorry. I just tried to capture a screenshot so I have all the information to call Comcast,
Comcast.
and it blocks you from capturing screenshots.
Fucking
Comcast us?
Yeah.
Fuck you, Comcast. If you're watching this,
They better
probably
be.
not.
They better be. Somebody over there.
Because if they were a Patreon supporter, they'd fucking help us.
Cool. Good point.
But they're not.
No, they aren't.
They're not one of the chosen few. The
Hey, before we start, can you tell me
177
what number
people.
this is? Did you guys know offhand? No, okay, it's all good.
154, 155.
That doesn't sound right.
Okay.
I think it's like 2 something.
Do you think that Kevin knows we have a podcast to do? Or do you think he's just...
He's just being Kevin, man. The internet dying really took a lot out of him.
Yeah, it did. Luckily, he fixed the keg. So that worked out well.
Yeah.
luckily the locker's working or whatever.
What's
the hell
important?
it is. What's important? I know. God forbid.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the GameOverGreggy show. I'm one of your hosts, Greg Miller, alongside the producer / seducer, Nick Scarpino.
How do you spell doozy?
D-O-O-Z-Y.
No.
D-O-Z-Y?
Yeah.
Not I-E? No?
No.
I'm going to go IE, and here's why, because I'm from the Inland Empire, which they call the IE. Do you see what I'm
Doozy
saying?
with an IE is not.
Oh, wait, how
the
would you spell it,
intended
Greg? You went to-
meaning.
I was going to go
journalism school.
D-O-O-Z-I-E. Come on over here. What do you need his social security
It's a
number?
Y.
Give me your social
Doozy's a
security.
fun word.
Say it out
Y
loud,
is the
social
fun
security
letter.
number, the full number, please.
A-E-I-O-U.
Sometimes
Y. When does the Y come?
Whenever
when
you
it's
want it
party
to.
time. When it's a fun time.
Okay.
Doozy, fun.
Okay.
Doozy's a fun thing. Never, and there's never a serious
No, not
doozy.
the-
No, doozies
I
aren't.
used to-
Oh, you can have a bad, like there are a whole bunch of calamities.
Well, I don't know what you
You're in
You
for
could
a
have a whole-
doozy. Yeah, it's like
Oh,
it's like.
this was a doozy.
But
This was a
not
doozy.
serious. It's not serious doozy. You would never use the word doozy if some like real shit was going on.
Better late than never.
You know?
I guess, but I mean, like again, like if a whole bunch, like there's oof, that hurricane was a doozy. You could say that.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't mean it was a party time. That doesn't mean it was a good time of a hurricane.
Yeah, we've had different hurricane experiences.
Apparently,
You ever seen Wizard of Oz?
yeah, not a hurricane. That's a
Come
tornado.
down on doozy. Sorry, I was writing down my social security number and blood type for Kevin there.
Yeah,
IE?
I mean, he's saying why,
You
and
just
he's making
we're
a good
still
point.
having the
I mean,
conversation.
we're still in the middle of it. Let me see him if I write him out.
Did you
here.
like the Wizard
Everybody,
of Oz?
this is an
Nick?
exercise
Did
at
you
home.
like the Wizard of Oz?
Who doesn't like the Wizard of Oz?
D-O-O-Z.
There's your
oh no,
answer.
doozy with the
It's
I.
with the Y. I told you. Look how stupid that looks.
Yeah, D-O-O-Z-Y does
right.
look good. You're right. D-O-O-Z-I-E does look dumb. Over here at Tim Gettys.
In my Twitter bio.
Here we go.
I finally updated it. I said I was going to do this a while ago, and I finally did it. I put it's true. I beat Cuphead.
Oh, wow.
In my Twitter bio. I tried to convince Gia to put it's true. I date someone who beat Cuphead, and she's not down.
Why is she no fun?
I don't know,
like,
man.
what happened to fun,
Hey,
Gia?
can
Is it
somebody
'cause
tell
there's no
Gia to
booze?
get fun and to like put the facts in her Twitter bio? Because it's a goddamn fact, and it is true.
You think it's because is it the no booze January that's made her unfun?
Monster.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. How's she coping with it?
Not well.
Yeah.
Not
she
well.
drinks. I feel like she wants alcohol more than you do.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Not even a question. But we went out a couple nights ago to my friend's like get together thing, and we were at some. What's up?
Just bring it up. Prep my topic. Sorry, I didn't do my homework either today.
We were at a bar, and everyone was drinking, including myself, because I didn't agree to this. And she had the
Wait, you didn't agree to the no booze January?
January. No,
So she was just foisted this upon you. So
I mean
this
she's
is what we're
doing.
doing.
She's doing it.
Okay.
It's a her thing. It's not a us thing.
Oh, I thought it was an us thing.
I mean, she said that. I didn't say that. Doesn't matter. Getting into weeds here.
My apologies.
Point was, one of my friends ordered wine. My friend never orders wine. Did he do this to
Colonel?
fuck with her? No, my friend Vincent. I'm pretty sure he did it to fuck with her.
Nice.
And it succeeded because
Did he talk about it the
she
whole time?
had her
Like, ooh,
eye
this
on that
bouquet.
thing like a motherfucking hawk. Just like she wanted it to the point that she was like, "Can I just hold it for a second?" I'm like, you have a problem.
That's bad.
Yeah. Then she held it for a little bit, and then she all of a sudden
tweeted about it,
She
too.
looked complete.
Yeah.
And she almost changed her bio at that very moment.
To
You're right.
to
The Cuphead thing.
Really?
No, but
Oh,
one day maybe.
that would have been.
Can we hack her?
interesting.
Can we have Kevin hack her bio?
This seems like Can we
Let's
just get her
Kevin to
phone?
fucking
It seems
hack
like
her.
Kevin has probably everyone's passwords at some point. He could probably just log in and do that real quick, and she'll
Log in
never
and do
figure
it.
out how to do it.
Gia's.
I mean, I'd
she's into
appreciate
running
it-
and health, so try
I would
running
appreciate it
health.
if all of you put it in your bio.
I'm friends with someone who beat Cuphead.
My friend beat. It's true. My friend beat.
I'll put it in my thing right now.
beat Cuphead. Yeah. And any best friend out there, you can. Put
I
it in
watched
there
a guy
too.
who beat Cuphead.
Yeah.
Okay, these are all fair. These are all real things that could happen, I guess. Yeah. Nick, how you doing?
I'm a little jostled.
You seem wound up.
There's a lot going on.
I think like this would help you. I've been walking around today
Oh,
with
you
this
just got-
Sharpie, acting like I'm cutting people's chests. You know what I mean? Or we're doing like blood oath things in our hand because knives are cool. And now we're blood brothers.
Yeah, we both have AIDS.
No, wait, what?
I don't know. I don't know. Mix your blood.
Why are you
with mine.
jostled? Just because the day's been moving awkwardly?
No, nothing. It's just that the internet connections here are just annoying, and I'm tired.
If you aren't watching live, you might be wondering what we're talking about with the internet. Today during Kind of Funny Games Daily, internet just started dying.
Yeah.
And it died. And so then we've been trying to get it back in like Comcast, not fast or helpful. And so rather than, of course, you can get the show, patreon.com/kindoffunny. We'll stream it for you for $1. You can watch us live record it. There's pre and post shows. Rather than miss out on that promise of a pre and post show or a live stream, we are streaming from my phone on LTE. And it's the thing where I have the unlimited data grandfathered in from AT&T, but they still try to warn you.
They give you some bullshit.
Oh, we're
Yeah.
gonna test it out today.
Oh, today
They
we
throw
are
all that
definitely
shit, man.
testing
It's
it
like-
out too.
We are
Bunch of
streaming
This little guy
a
was hot as hell.
beautiful,
Conspiracy
beautiful
theories.
HD signal.
This doesn't. I mean,
It looks nice.
This is. I mean, the pre-show was us walking around talking to each other. I went and peed.
No, it would have been. It was interesting because my initial thought was put the camera, this way toward us, which would have been a terrible idea because it would have just shot right into the backlights. Cool Greg coming in hot with the solution streams on the confidence monitor. So the shot that people are seeing right now, or actually are seeing right now live, but you won't see that shot right now because you'll see the actual pretty shot, is actually facing the confidence monitor, which is why you can see some cabling over to the screen left.
Yeah,
Which is fun.
This is the Cool Greg effect.
This
We've
is-
seen this debuted in the hit Simpsons Hit and Run Instagram premium video blog series.
The cool guy used to do.
The Cool Greg effect.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you that Cuphead tweet.
Thank you.
Oh,
Thank
look
you,
at
Cool
that.
Greg.
Yeah,
Thank
Cool
you,
Greg's on
Cool
it.
Greg.
Yeah.
So wait, we have to compliment Cool Greg, and then he does whatever we want.
Yeah,
him
pretty
to do
much.
with
Yeah.
the tweet.
It's the
He's like,
carrot.
yeah, that's all
It's the carrot of the. It's the carrot of the stick. You know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
You've
think the stick.
You've given Kevin too much of the stick, and
Have
now
I?
you dangle
Giving him too much stick.
You dangle that carrot in front of Kevin all the time, and he just doesn't want it.
You
And
don't
that's
want
why
that
he has an eating problem.
Okay.
He doesn't want to eat anymore. He's just
I am
used
the
to getting
source of
stick.
all of Kevin's problems.
I think we know that
makes
part for
sense.
sure.
That makes sense.
If you didn't know, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Game Over Greggy show. Each and every week, 4, sometimes 3 best friends gather on this table, each bringing a random topic of discussion for your amusement. If you like that, head over to patreon.com where you, patreon.com/kindafunny. Patreon.com just takes it to everybody. Patreon.com/kindafunny, where you can get each and every episode of the show early. How early? So early, you could be watching it off my cell phone right now. My personal cell phone. For just $1, you can watch us record it live. You get a pre and a post show. If you don't catch it live, you can get it on Friday early, an entire week early. On patreon.com/kindafunny is an MP3 and a video. The video comes with the pre and post show as well. But if you don't want to give us any money, which we understand, it's tight, but it does help us out a lot. You can go to youtube.com/kindafunny the following Friday and get the show a little late, but there's one big MP3 and video.
This episode is going to be worth $1. Why, Greg? Because it's going to be a doozy.
But I see, again, you said it though, kind of like a creepy Southern lawyer, or like like the Resident Evil family before
like
they
the
became
hills have eyes.
Regardless, you do not spell it with an IE. Look at how dumb that was.
I agree, it doesn't look good. That's why I crossed it out, and I agree. As soon as I wrote it out, I'm just a man who needs to see things. Oh yeah, wow. Oh, look at that. All right, this is good streaming content for those kids.
Bad.
Yeah, you see.
There you go.
I understand that.
There you go, Patreon. Now you can see Greg's handwriting.
First off, they see my handwriting. They love my handwriting. Everybody loves everything.
You have very, very identifiable handwriting.
Do I?
Yeah.
I've never thought of myself as it. I think I have bad handwriting nowadays.
No.
My
Yours
Sharpie
is
also
great.
runs everything together here. You
Yours
know what
is
else
great.
this is an Xbox One notebook from GDC. And I remember thinking it's a cool idea for a notebook, because what it is the game they were showing, all the games they were showing, and then a blank space. But then it makes it really hard to like keep comprehensive notes. And I was like, I'll never use this thing. And I use this notebook all the time now.
Hey,
so once again, something I was wrong about when it comes to Xbox. Not my topic though, Nick. Not my topic. All right.
I love the war of touching going on right now.
I'll push this touch.
The
war
thing
as hard
is
as you
this. The
wanna
thing is
push it.
this. For the longest time, you and I knew each other, and every time I'd go to touch you, you would go, "Don't fucking touch me," right?
Really?
Joking around. Yeah, joking around.
Joking.
But there was a
Okay.
little bit of a hard edge to it, to maybe to the point where you don't like being touched. Fast forward, one Jen St. Millard Ange comes into your life. Now all of a sudden you want hands all over you.
First off,
And I've always been there, sir. I've always been there with my hands ready and waiting. I'm there at the waiting to cup a feel, to help boost you up a little
you
bit.
boost me up quite a bit.
You know, shave your back a little. Remember when I waxed your back on that the first
That was a
anniversary
thing.
stream we did?
I do remember that.
That was fun.
Here's the thing about it is you are misrepresenting my case here. I want to be able to lean back and do like the, Bob Barker.
Whatever the fuck you want to do. It's our world. We made it.
Mick world. It could happen. The problem I had with you touching me before is the fact that you give, and if I'm lying, I'm dying here, Tim, amazing back rubs and massages and all that stuff. The only problem is your hands were formed in a sandpaper factory. So as somebody with sensitive ears, sensitive
You got
ears,
sensitive ears?
Velcro, can't do it. I hate that noise.
On your
You've gotten
ears?
better.
Oh.
I think one D, whatever
No,
her other
she
name
hates
is
it.
that we don't think we say on the internet.
No, we don't.
D, I think, came in and actually got you on a moisturizer regimen that then made your hands not sound like a million pieces of broken glass going down a fucking burlap coat.
The reality is my hands are softer when there's more moisture in the air, and that's pretty much the only thing. When it's dry outside, my hands get super dry, and they're disgusting.
So
I don't
wanna
moisturize.
make something clear here.
Yeah.
Greg. Nick has man hands, right?
Yeah.
We've established that.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's not the feeling that bothers you. It's the sound that
Yeah.
you make.
100%. It was, like at IGN when he used to try to grab me and give me these back rubs, which sounds terrible, but they were welcome. They're welcome anytime you want to give them. It was just like it was like when I was a kid, and Jamie Kennedy would come in there and like scratch my back as a kid or whatever.
Yeah.
And then Dad would try to do it, and he had these like construction worker hands. And I was like, nah, man.
I love my
You're like
hands.
the thing. I don't want the thing touching me. You
I
love your hands?
I got the softest hands in the
Oh
West.
God, fuck,
Yeah.
Jesus.
I don't do manual labor. Had to do a little bit this week. My arm still hurt. I was telling Nick a couple days ago.
Yeah.
Like putting shampoo on my head. Not my favorite thing to do right now.
Tim had to lift something.
I had to lift
for
a lot
while.
of furniture and stuff.
Oh right, you're moving around the house, right? You're-
Kevin did majority of it, but then it reached a point where he needed help.
Sure. When Kevin's
That was gonna be me.
when Kevin's shuffling around your house, moving all his furniture for you, what are you doing? You just watching him?
Ideally,
Yeah.
but it reached a point that he needed help.
So you're like so sore it hurts to put shampoo in your hair.
Mhm.
Wow.
Didn't
Okay.
take much. I'm a very weak man.
Okay. All right.
But hey, I get
You
to
do
live my
have
life,
suit.
and
Let me
I
see
got-
your hands. Hold out
I
your
got
hands
very
there.
soft hands.
Yeah, those are good looking hands. Those are soft hands.
soft
See, mine, you can see the crevices in the
Yeah,
white.
Tim's hands look like a baby's bottom.
And little baby
They look so soft. They look new, like they're just new to the world.
Right,
You know?
yeah. They just came out of the womb.
Yeah, I
keep them
I
that way.
I mean, my hands are a little disgusting.
Well, it's because you're always out there wrestling, guys.
Yeah, there's wrestling, there's lifting, there's things like that. I like to have a few calluses on my hands. I like when people shake my hand to know that,
You're a man.
hey, this is not, I'm not white collar. I'm blue collar, just like
Sure.
you, sir or
Sure.
ma'am. I'm working, I'm out there lifting things in the
Whose
streets,
hand are you shaking?
making my way
hands, I
downtown.
want them to feel bad about themselves. I want them to
Am I
feel,
grabbing a satin glove?
I
No,
want
this
them
is a human
to
being
feel like
skin.
they're doing something wrong.
Yeah.
They're like insulting something that should be in a museum.
Yes, like they should, like you're like the queen. Like you can't touch the queen.
I've often thought that.
Yeah. I don't think the queen likes you to touch her.
I don't know.
Also, you're not supposed to turn your back to the queen, evidently. So when you exit a room with the queen, you have to just bow
do
and walk
backwards?
backwards.
Really?
Man,
That's what I heard.
Who?
I don't know.
Michael
Ask
Jackson
people
met
in the
the
UK.
Queen. He had a
They're not
great
allowed
time.
to. They're not allowed to put their backs to the queen.
he looked good doing it.
Sure.
The queen don't want to look at that ass. She don't want to look at that ass.
All right, my topic is a simple question, ladies and gentlemen. Will America ever be normal again?
Yes.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm. I think so.
I think that what we're experiencing right now is a lot of it is due to the direct political climate, and that's caused a lot by our president, who tends to, whether you like him or not, be very evocative and provocative. And I think that there's a large portion of why everyone's on the ready to either attack or jump down your throat or to have an opinion is because of that culture that he's created. I think it all stems directly from that. I don't think too much has changed in the last 2 years other than Obama used to be our president, and he sort of, in my opinion, exuded confidence, whether or not, if you believe in his politics, it doesn't matter. I think he had this, hey, everyone, everything's going to be okay. And I think ultimately that kind of, I think people were a little bit less likely to jump down the pike, and then I think Trump came in office and just expedited everything. Like, I think the last 10 years of like everyone being super progressive and social justice warriors and all that stuff and being critical of each other has just been sandwiched into 6 months now, and we're all just like, let's fight. Everyone's gonna fight. Everything's a fight now.
This stems from over the weekend. Jen had a couple of her friends down from Montreal, and I was out drinking with these people, lovely people,
Yeah.
big fans. We're out there drinking, but they were, of course, asking me questions about America and this and Obamacare and all this jazz.
And they making
stuff.
fun of us. I hate when the Canadians make
No.
fun of
These
us.
were on. Well, I mean, these are nice people. They understand they're visiting. They talked
very
a
apologetic.
lot of French talk, so maybe they were behind my back. You know what I mean?
They're like, how is your country? It shouldn't have been
cigarette smoke.
Then meanwhile, they all have pictures of their prime minister or like whatever the guy's name is in their
Trudeau.
wallets.
Jerked off to him.
Trudeau. He's just
Yeah,
gorgeous
yeah. Yeah,
and
he
fucking
is
perfect
gorgeous.
looking, and just shows up at homeless shelters every once in a while. Like,
Dresses as Superman on
how you
Halloween.
doing?
Yeah,
He's a
yeah.
badass.
But we were going into it, and I was trying to explain. They were like, how did Trump win? I'm like, oh, it's a multifaceted question, blah, blah, blah. But I brought up the fact, of course, that just like, and this is my opinion, of course, that Hillary just wasn't a very liked candidate,
Yeah.
right? She was the political machine, and people, myself included, not that I didn't vote for Trump, I voted for Hillary, but people weren't down with the machine, and so candidates like Bernie Sanders and like Donald Trump that were outside of everything we'd ever seen before obviously garnered a lot of attention and a lot of excitement because people thought they were different and they'd come in and change things and shake things up. And then it devolved into a thing of like, well, man, you guys are seeing what that leads to now. Thank God that won't happen. And I'm like, I don't know. Now that the genie's out of the bottle, and everybody, was like all the Golden Globes was all
Oprah,
like,
everyone's like, get Oprah,
run
get
for this.
Oprah.
We've all been saying Rock run for president, all this different stuff. Like after the Oprah stuff got not a wave of backlash, but a lot of people being like, Jesus Christ, no more reality stars, no more celebrities, blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's realistic thinking.
No, it's not realistic thinking, because what this last presidency proved was that the presidency is a popularity contest. And whoever can be the most entertaining and the most evocative and promise the most, even if there may or may not be any truth to that, is going to get attention. Hillary, I think you're absolutely right, represented not only the last 10 to 15 years of her own career, but also her husband's presidency. Sure. And to a lot of people, they know the name Clinton. They know what that's old guard mentality, right? Trump comes in and Trump says, for the most part, at the beginning there, he starts saying a lot of things that a lot of people are thinking as far as like how absurd politics are to begin with, right?
Yeah.
People say that we're gonna do, they do the hand gesture that's totally neutral hand gesture, and they talk and they're not actually answering any questions. And you got this guy over on the other side. It's like, you're full of shit.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden everyone's like, I like that guy. He's full of shit. Let's
Yeah.
see where this goes. This is entertaining. And I think now, unfortunately, it's been taken it's not as tempered as I think the presidency needs to be, and I think that's giving people a big example of what they can get away with or what they should be doing. Like, and I don't know that that's necessarily the example we should be setting for our nation and for the world.
Sure.
You know.
I think that will it go back to normal? I think normal has always been an evolving thing. So it's like, is it normal now? It doesn't feel like it because we're in it. But I think looking in the future, when we look back on it, it's just going to be another stepping stone to get where we end up. And that sounds so stupid and basic. But really, I think that this is, regardless of what side you're on, it's eye-opening to see how this is changing the way people think, the way people have discussions, especially in a world where social media is the media. And Donald Trump can do whatever he wants on his Twitter and with essentially no restrictions.
Yeah, with the exception of that one day when someone from Twitter was firebombed their career forever and shut down his account for 5 minutes.
On their way out, yeah.
Yeah, that was bad.
That stuff can just happen, but that like is going to start a different discussion about, you know, what is okay, what's not okay. Should he have a Twitter? Should he not? I feel like there are more people, whether or not they're educated and whether or not they are capable of speaking their minds and like getting their point across, are having discussions and are feeling something about this. And I think that is important to get to a point where America is better than it used to be. And I don't know, it's like, it sucks right now. And it sucks to see how this all affects everything. And it sucks to see our president act the way that he is. And every day, like the tweets that he puts out, it's like, it's a joke. Like, it's really ridiculous to see this and be like, this is real. This is a reality.
Yeah.
It's scary.
It is scary.
To me, it's scary.
To me, it's scary
that
this isn't a movie. This isn't this is not a joke. And, you know, I think back, I remember when Arnold Schwarzenegger was governor of California, like that, being young, that felt like a joke. Like, that felt like, what the fuck? Like, why would California like let this happen? Like, the place that I'm from, like, what?
Well, a lot of people forget that Ronald Reagan was governor, but before he was governor, he was a very famous actor and that sort of thing.
Arnold Schwarzenegger, like, there's something
the thing about Arnold Schwarzenegger though is like he's actually a really, really smart, very shrewd business person. I heard an interview with him one time where he was talking about how he was a millionaire before he even got really cast in anything, because he had taken some of the money that he'd won from like Mr. Olympia and all these competitions, and he bought a bunch of buildings. And he started generating revenue from real estate. He's been a huge real estate mogul for a very long time, evidently. And the reason he did that was because he was like, I don't want to have to take shitty roles in shitty B movies. I'm a superstar. I'm going to wait, and I'm going to become a star on my own terms. I'm sure it was more intricate than that, but that represents the kind of strategic thinking that he has, which is interesting. I wasn't really aware of like what he was doing politically when he was in office. I couldn't comment on whether or not he was a good.
Questions about that. I was like, I was in Illinois and Missouri, and I don't remember.
I was in SoCal and not paying attention to anything.
Did he ever not be? Was he ever not a joke to you in general?
I mean, no. I was 14 and I was not like, my friends weren't into politics. Nothing about. I didn't really consider politics. I didn't really think about it in that way until the GameOverGreggy show. This is what caused me to really have to think about that type of stuff. And then also, you know, with the Obama thing, like being from here, being from the bubble of the Bay Area, it's like I've said this a bunch of times on the show, but there was no other choice. Like that, there was a clear right and wrong. And that's how I felt. That's how I was raised. And I was like looking at it, I'm like, yeah, that's just totally how it shakes out to me. And you know, going into the whole Trump situation, it was different. It was different in the sense that everything you're talking about Clinton and all that, but like really just focus on the Trump side. It's like, again, going back to all the times we talked about the election, I was always at the table saying like, Trump's gonna fucking win this thing because he has this popularity and he is just saying these outlandish things that excite people and get people riled up, and people can stand behind somebody that is saying something different, whether or not it's something they agree with. It's just the fact that they're saying something different makes them different, and it's like, oh shit. And then you get here, and I don't know, it's just like like I was saying about with Schwarzenegger, is like, I didn't understand what was happening then. I do understand what's happening now, and I do see the tweets, and I do see what's happening, and it feels sometimes like I know my level of understanding of a lot of the political landscape and all the shit that's going on. And sometimes when I see him tweet, oftentimes when I see him tweet, I'm like, man, it doesn't seem like you understand it much more than I do. And yet you're the one in control of this. And there are things you're saying that, like, I know that regardless of whether or not you're right, you're saying this the wrong way, and you're the president. And I think all of these things are, no matter what, it's what we have. And I think that is an important thing to realize and to grow from. And I think that this is going to make America stronger. And I think that that's that to me is what normal is America learning from what's happening and going forward and to continue building and
I guess it's
trying
just
to be better.
I got what I wanted on paper. In the fact that I was totally disenfranchised with government and politicians and didn't believe them, and I always wanted somebody to come in and shake it up. It was just in your head. It was a Democratic, liberal, whatever candidate coming in, and not even that. Not even I would have voted. It was a candidate coming in and shooting straight. Being
a real person,
being a human being, and not being a canned robot, white guy or white woman who's just saying the things they need to say and rolling up their sleeves and taking the photo op and doing their thing and bouncing off and saying they're going to change things, getting there and changing absolutely fucking nothing. And like I always wanted someone to come in from either side and be the person who would come in and be like, no, that's stupid. I'm going to tell you what I think. I am a person, da da da. But I always thought it was going to be someone intelligent and on the ball about this and not a crazy person.
Yeah, see what's interesting will be to look back on this era in our history and see how it's actually looked upon, because I think there's going to actually be some good that has come of this. Namely, yes, I was with you on that one too. I'm like, how awesome would it be if there was a billionaire who could self-fund his own? He didn't have any special interest groups barking up his tree. He was beholden to no person, and he could literally just look at the whole situation and be like, what's best for the biggest amount of people? Let me make that decision, right? What I think we're seeing is Trump came in and just took a gigantic mag light and started shining it on everyone, including himself, and we realize how absurd all of this is, and how absurd that little facade that all these politicians put up really is, right? We also learned that because of Trump, I mean, look what we've seen. We've seen everything sort of like go from being a little bit toward the middle area to you kind of got to pick a side, and that includes mainstream media, right? You can look at the same story on Fox News and CNN, and they will be polar opposite takes on it, right? And I don't know who's right. And that's one of the big things that I think is going to be a lesson learned from this is the way we get media, the way we get news, that news cycle, we are always going to have a distrust of it from now on. At least I will. Because I look at these things and I can't help but and I watch a lot of different types of news and I read a lot of different types of news on my phone. I can't help but see behind the curtain on a lot of this stuff of like, wow, there's such a fucking political agenda on both sides. CNN, MSNBC, Fox News, all of them, it's almost like someone's right behind them like, don't say that because we're doing this and we're getting our money from there and don't worry about it. So say it like this. Spin it a little bit this way. So I think
that's always been the case.
That's what I'm saying. It's always been the case, but now we are very, 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 very well aware of it. People have been pointing it out for the last 6 months. So you don't know who to trust.
The other thing I have because when I was thinking about this question, talking to people of like, well, in normal, right, is that how long have we been completely off track with? I'm a kid growing up, obviously, so I'm not paying attention. But it's also like, was Congress always this fucked up?
Yeah.
Was the House of Representatives? Has it always been sides? When's the last time it was that? Cool, you're a Democrat, you got elected. I'm a Republican, we got elected. We're in the same house. I'm gonna make the decisions based on my constituents. You're gonna do it on that. We're gonna vote. It's gonna be over. We're gonna go.
I don't believe that ever has happened. And I mean, the thing that it's you got to look at this at the end of the day. We're dealing with humans, no matter what they believe, no matter their race, no matter their gender, no matter anything. They're human beings, and human beings always.
But I'm sorry. That's a great point. Remember where you're at. We're dealing with humans who seek out being at the highest level of control. So look at all of this through that. Like you have to be a special kind of person who goes, I want to be the fucking most powerful person in the world. I
want to say, and the moment you have that, it's like it creates. And when there is a system in place that was made by people like that, and as it keeps going, no matter what it is, whether it's government or a business or a family or a friendship or whatever, there's always the dynamics, and it's every relationship is about communication. Communication gets harder and harder and harder the more people disagree, when there's different people fighting, when inherently it's about fighting, right? Inherently it's about disagreeing and having to make a choice that's either this or that, and then going up all the way, and it's not ever going to be 100% one vision or 100% another. It's always going to be compromise, which again, any relationship is. Sure. But I just think when you look at it, it's like there's no getting away from the problems that we have. Like it could never be fixed because that's impossible unless all humans were exactly the same, and that's just not reality.
Yeah, especially with a country as big as ours, right? And that's the big thing you're dealing is like for the first time in the history of human beings, everyone who has an opinion has a platform to voice that opinion, and so we're in the mix of that. We're in the Scrum.
Yeah.
Scrum, where it's just this hodgepodge of everyone's ideals trying to make it to the surface. And there's a lot of people out there that I really believe are frustrated and scared, myself included, who my first reaction to seeing something is I want to rage against this thing. And that's just that one of the things that I'm proud that we can do here is we can have discussions about things and we can propagate that, like, hold on, take a step back, take a breath. Let's have a conversation about this and let's try to figure out if there is some commonality or common ground between all of us and move forward.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like, because that was the thing. And, even this time last year, right, when Trump had already won or whatever, and he'd already been, this time last year, he's getting ready to be inaugurated. I remember talking and, being like, well, at least the pro to all this, and this is before, I remember we were trying to give benefit of the doubt and like, we'll see what he's going to do as president, blah, blah, blah. We only know the guy campaigning. But it was at the very least, I kept saying, was going to change the way people run for office and the way people act in office in the way that, sure, he's not the candidate I would have wanted to come out and do this and really shake up the system, but I'd hope from here on out that 4 years from then, 3 years from now, when we're looking down the barrel of another election and it just passed, you'll have seen other candidates who step up, and the ones who rise are the ones who are like, no, this is how I feel and I believe this and I don't believe that, and that's okay, and like straight shooters in terms of like, here's what I really am and who I really am.
Well, it's going to be interesting to watch because I think that the idea of having a billionaire come in who is beholden to no one is an immature idea. It's not reality. In reality, Donald Trump is a billionaire because of other people, because of these people that he is in fact beholden to, and all those people who are very, very powerful and have corporations and make lots of money, and then all of a sudden you start seeing policy come out of the White House, like this new tax reform that basically directly benefits them.
Sure.
Right? And so I don't know that there is a person who is a standalone person that doesn't have either some skeletons in the closet or owes a lot of people a lot of shit, or is directly, their business is so intrinsically and directly tied into your business, Tim, that if I do make that decision that's going to benefit the 318 million Americans, it's still going to screw you over. I don't know how to do that because that's going to affect my bottom line. It'll be fascinating to see, I think, as the media kind of progresses and gets a little bit more like, let's dig into finances, things like that, what happens if a Mark Cuban comes to the table and goes, I want to be president. I think we're going to scrutinize that a lot more, at least I hope. The Rock runs for president, people are going to shut down and just vote for him immediately, I think. I think people are just going to go, yes, it's The Rock. And I think that he is such a powerful brand and such a powerful message that he gets at least the benefit of the doubt for the first couple debates from a lot of people, right? I think he just gets up there and he's like, this guy's a fool, flex.
No, he wouldn't do the flex thing. That's if
I were him, I'd walk on and have tearaway sleeves on the first debate and be like, what up? Come at me. Come at me, Dems.
I remember
come at me, Republicans.
Going back to it, I remember being in high school, Schwarzenegger going for governor, Gary Coleman running for governor. It turned into this.
There was a porn star that ran for governor that year too. I forget her name.
It just became, oh, me too, me too, me too. Of just like, we're just gonna do this. Like, hey, like, this is a fucking joke, and it's like that's what we're gonna see. I think we're gonna see something very similar.
100%
in was it 2020?
Well, yeah, leading up to 2020, yeah.
Where it's like there's gonna be a lot of people jumping in that's just to kind of be part of the conversation. Like, I don't know. Realistically, I hope that The Rock doesn't actually go for it. I hope that Oprah doesn't actually go for it. But I don't really see a world in which either they or people like them don't.
I think Oprah is very much thinking about it because I think she could potentially win, but I also think it could be it'll be very interesting because Trump has a pedigree now of just tearing through people, like, giving people like shitty pet names or shitty nicknames that are just totally stick with him. So it'll be interesting to see what happens if he has to go against a black woman, right? And how if that same level of tactics of being just cutting to the core of the shittiest part of you is actually going to work in his favor with a lot of people that voted for him, or if it's going to just have a huge backlash, people just being like, that's different, that's hard, and it's going to come out like make him come out looking like a huge racist. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I hope she does, but I hope she doesn't. And Mark Cuban, and this person, and this other person, and this other person, because then they're just going to cannibalize and eat up all of the space.
Absolutely, what's going to happen? Like that's. I just can't see another way. Those people are all going to be like, "Hey guys, Tree of Trust, who are we pushing for?" Like that conversation is not going to happen. It's going to be a popularity
Shark
contest.
Tank. They might. You don't know.
The Shark Tank going to go in as a group?
No, I'm saying like they, Mark Cuban. He's compromised before there. He can compromise there. Get Mr. Wonderful and whoever it's going to be. But I don't know, man.
But you ask, is it ever going to be normal again? Look at the 80s. People thought in the 80s, hey, when we hit the 90s, everyone's like, can we go back to Reaganomics and like this? And then, Clinton took over and the economy was pretty good. Everyone's like, this is great. And then Bush takes over and everyone's like, okay, this is good. And then we start getting into a lot of wars. Actually, I think we were in some wars before that because of Bush Sr. And it is that endless cycle of, God, I wish it was yesterday again, because yesterday looking through rose-colored glasses was great, but it really wasn't that great. There's always been conflicts. We've always been, there's always been people very critical of us.
I think this might be the only time, honestly, where I think you also, the only time in my life. I mean, I can't speak to Jimmy Carter and all that shit, but like,
well, I'm just saying, you look back socioeconomics, right? Like you look back at the eras, it's the best. We are living in the best time to ever live right now, right? Even 2-3 years ago, like we still have amazing amounts of technology at our disposal, but what we are doing with that is making all the difference. And I think we're abusing it right now. But that we are abusing it just like a kid who gets a car for the first time, right? When I was at 16, I got in 3 car accidents between 16 and 18 because I was like, fuck it, right? AC/DC, driving my little 6-cylinder or 6-cylinder Jetta.
Car, right?
The powder blue car couldn't go faster than 5 miles an hour. That thing couldn't get up hills. I actually had to take a circuitous route home because I had a steep hill that I had to get up on Canyon Crest, and it just wasn't working out.
Yeah.
But I'm a much better driver now because we've learned the responsibility of those tools, and we've taught other people how to do that. And I try to influence those people the same way.
I mean, I think this is the same argument we've made a lot when it comes to technology and stuff. But while that is true, I also think that there is the equal and opposite reaction of people that are going all in and using it for good at this moment.
Sure.
And it's just more people having more access to things is, in the end, going to be a good thing. And I just think that with where we're at now, like, yeah, we're in it right now. So it is the freaking worst thing ever. But being in different situations, it was the worst thing ever. I remember being here when all the Bush stuff was happening, and it was the worst thing ever. And I feel like different groups have different feelings about different things at every different time, right? That's just how this goes. And right now is an insane fucking time, but we're going to get through it. And going through, it's going to affect different people differently. And it's very easy for me to say that because the Trump changes aren't affecting me in a way that is negative that I know of. I personally am not seeing it. I'm seeing it through my friends. I'm seeing it through having to know that I am personally embarrassed knowing that the leader of the country we live in, that we are a part of, that has housed me for my 28 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's like, that's to feel that I have no say in that, even though I voted and like it didn't go my way, whatever. It's embarrassing. It's scary,
Yeah.
I guess it's just, and I again, it's rose-colored glasses. It's looking back. It's all these different things. Is even when W was in charge and you were like,
W.
This guy's an
Strategery.
idiot.
God bless him.
Yeah. Oh my God. He fucked up these
God
different
bless
words.
him.
He almost choked on a pretzel. Oh Lord. It was still like, I didn't think he was like possibly going into dementia when you read these reports.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely wasn't
Did you see his
challenging Kim Jong-un or
Right.
excuse me,
Yeah.
the father.
Well,
Kim
for him,
Jong-un.
it would have been Kim Jong-un.
Right? He wasn't challenging him. No, it would have been
opposite.
He wasn't challenging him to a nuke off. That's for sure. He wasn't being like, your nukes suck. They don't work as well as ours do. Let's make more of them. That's the kind of shit that you see the president do. You're like, and this is what I'm talking about, right? I think that there's like, the system has kind of always been the way it was. It's just we have better eyes on it now. It's way more transparent than it used to be because Trump doesn't give a fuck.
See,
Right?
Obama called Kanye West a jackass for how he tweeted
And he
Taylor
nailed
Swift.
it.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's the type of thing where that had so
That
much.
was a huge deal.
Huge deal. Huge fucking deal.
Right.
You see the way Trump talks about anything.
Well, it's
these shithole countries.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's hearsay information as well. But a lot of people are like, we were in the room when that happened. But yeah, I mean, I don't doubt that he does that, and I don't doubt that. I don't doubt that at some point President Obama was so fed up with everything, he walked into the room and was like, motherfucker. Fucking can people just stop whining about X, Y, and Z, whatever the fuck it is, right? God damn it, blowing off steam. I get that. There is a certain reality to that, but the man had the decency, as did George W. Bush, to at least put up the front of I'm a nice, happy leader of the free world. Trump didn't even try.
Yeah.
Not even one day is like, fuck it, gonna go golfing. What
But that's
up?
not why people voted for him. So why would he?
Well,
Right?
exactly. Yeah, that's a good point.
He's doing the exact same thing the only thing that can keep him in office. The only thing that can give him more power. Keep being him. if he changed, then he would be turning his back on all the people that voted for him.
Well, everyone I think hoped that he would subtly change because he was, if I'm not mistaken, he was a Democrat leading up to like a few years back, like until this started happening to be a thing. So everyone always just kind of assumed, hey, he's going to come in there, but he's going to be more of a Democrat, so he's going to get the Republicans and the Dems to work together. And he has not done that at all. He has walked a hard line of conservatism and just not given a fuck. Like all the immigration policies, the wall he's still pushing, the new tax reform, just nuking healthcare. And granted, Obamacare is terrible, but you know, it was at least a step forward. And now he's like, you don't need healthcare. Nobody needs healthcare. Don't worry about it. Let people pick their own healthcare. And it's like, they can't afford it. That's the problem. No one can afford fucking healthcare. Even if the market dips a little bit, which by the way, our healthcare, I think, went up. Because of everything. It still doesn't fix the problem of people fundamentally can't afford to get sick in this country. And that's the disappointing thing to me is I look at any candidate that we're talking about right now. They're not fixing these problems. These problems are not, a lot of these problems are not fixable. Healthcare in this country is very, very complex and it is a broken system. And if you don't believe me, go to the doctor. Have something major happen to you. Even with health insurance, you're still going to get a bill for $500 to $1,000. Now, luckily, I'm 37 years old and I've worked on this planet and saved. So when I get sick, when I have to have an MRI, when I break a fucking rib or crack a rib in jiu-jitsu because I'm 37 and probably shouldn't be doing jiu-jitsu at 37, sure, I can afford the $1,500 worth of medical expenses that came through. Do I like paying it? No. Does it feel like someone is forcefully trying to put something in my body without my consent? Yes, it does feel like that. But these are very big problems that we have that maybe, and this is the problem is I think a lot of younger people maybe don't realize yet because you haven't gotten to this point where you have to start going to the doctor, where you have to start getting physicals and things like that. But no one's fixing really the big problems here. We're just pushing the ball back over to where it was 8 years ago prior to Obama, and then he's pushing it back over to us. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It feels like it's that constant ping pong. Do I think Oprah getting elected is going to solve all our problems? No, I think she's going to be every bit as ineffective as every other president that's been in that office because our system is just fundamentally not supporting what we need.
Yeah.
That's a doom and gloom. Sorry.
Well, no, but I mean to what you're saying though, that is normal. That is the normalcy of the American government, and that's what it's designed to be. When Colin would talk about it, or when you learned about it back in the school, right? Is that there's supposed to be all these checks and balances, and so many people involved that you can't have one person come in and make drastic changes. But that's where we've run into all these interesting things with Trump and executive orders and immigration bans and all this jazz where you have to get the Supreme Court involved to overthrow that decision and make that not happen. And now, again, talking about this on a level that I assume has been happening forever, but as we now move into a real adulthood or whatever, where finally everybody has to pay attention. That's the other thing. Like you're talking about with W or Obama, if you didn't like Obama or whoever, everyone's always unhappy, it seems, with the president. Yeah. Even when Bill Clinton was in office and we were rebounding from the recession, everything was great. People still hated Clinton for a myriad of reasons. Yeah. That is the normal thing. And I think the fact that it's weird, so crazy, so amplified because of social media, it seems worse than it is. But again, it does seem like he's doing a lot more crazy motherfucking shit than anybody else has before. He is. I mean, it's one of those, I don't know, only being 34, where the scales are on this in terms of like, oh, I've seen a million presidents. I haven't. And then the presidents I have seen, I haven't been an adult for the most part. Obama, I always talk about, right? Like voted for him twice coming around. And the first time was very much like, holy shit, this guy's awesome and young and going to change things and be awesome. Mm-hmm. And he came in and it was normal. It was a normal presidency. Yeah. Where we didn't fix everything. He promised some stuff that he didn't do. He also had to deal with the massive fallout from the prior administration's just deregulation of everything, all the banks and all that, and he had the big housing crisis. He inherited a gigantic economic crisis, got us out of it. I don't know if that's good or bad how he did it, but he got us out of it, right? Yeah. And then put in place Obamacare, which is one of the biggest, I would say probably aggressive socialist policy that any president's put in my lifetime that I could see. And now Trump took that out. And so this is trying to, right? It's still there. He's trying to. I think affordable healthcare is still there. You can still. I see these people all the time tweeting, "This is the last day to register." Remember, he wants you to think this is dead. It's not dead. Well, good point. But I thought it was dead. But there you go. As dialed in, I'm not. I'm not dialed in. These are the things I'm seeing in scuttlebutt, and I am no better than somebody else on Facebook seeing something horror that, oh my God, all Muslims did this. I see a headline that's very like in my wheelhouse of like Obamacare hasn't been repealed. I'm like, don't need to read it. Just, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
that's the hard thing.
on.
Even if you read it, you wouldn't know if it was actually true or not. You'd see some facts put down there in such a way that maybe they were painted a different picture than if you read it on another website. And that's the big deal. You know, when you see him coming in and doing this sweeping policy of tax reform, right? And it's hilarious because I see this every fucking time there's a new president. They always have the one thing where they're like, we're going to reform and fix taxes, yada, 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 this, that, yada, yada, you know, and they do it. And then it takes a little while to kick in. And some of the ramifications, we just don't know what they are until the next administration when they undo it.
Yeah.
Right? And they totally reformed that. And then it's like, no, you just changed it back to what it was 10 years ago. And that's the hard thing is when you're dealing with government, when you're dealing with like how many Americans we have, these real progress takes years to play out in the political field.
Yeah.
Right? We don't know what the ramifications of this tax reform are going to be on a long scale until like 10 years from now when we might be in another economic crisis. Or we might be flourishing for all we know. Maybe trickle-down economics will work for the first time.
It's the long-term thing that, again, what I believe, not being somebody that knows politics well, but being somebody that I think understands how people work, I think that this Trump administration is, in the long run, going to be a good thing because it is making a lot of people that should be thinking about this stuff really think about it. And I think that over the long term, whatever changes are put in place here, over time, we will be looked at differently and we'll be scrutinized differently and we'll be able to have people that are like, well, here is an actual idea of how to fix the problem and then go forward. But who the fuck knows?
But like, sorry, continue.
Just real quick, something that I want to say is like I earlier was saying that like it doesn't really affect me. That's not true. For the first time ever, my like threshold for fear is a lot less than it ever was. I remember a couple months ago, Gia woke me up in the middle of the night, and it was when the shooting in Las Vegas was happening. Mm-hmm. And a shooting happening before always has been a horrible thing to me. I'd hear about it and it'd be a like, you know, very bad situation. Obviously, I don't need to fucking say that, but they never made me feel unsafe. And it's like now it's like, oh shit, like it feels so normalized. And then this weekend with the Hawaii thing, right? None of this necessarily. I'm not saying it's Trump's fault that those things happened, but it is Trump's fault. It is Trump's administration's fault that, to me, I'm like, oh shit. At any moment, San Francisco could be bombed. And I wouldn't be like, oh, I can't believe it. I'd be like, oh, I can totally believe it.
Sure.
Yeah.
With the way he's talking.
Well, that's why the Hawaii
shit.
thing, I think, resonated so much at the time. And of course, I'm sure even if this is later, you know what we're talking about. The emergency alert that went out on everybody's phones. And on TV
evidently
and
someone
radio,
hit the wrong button. There was one button that was like, everything's okay. And one button that was like,
coming in to kill you all.
please scare the shit out of everyone. And that dude's like, I don't know how I did it. We need a firmware update or something.
Yeah, so, but I hear what you're saying, right? Of like, I think on a normal Hawaii, like normal in quotes, 4, 5, 8 years ago, and again, this is us, just maybe we're not paying as much attention, and I'm not in Hawaii, I don't know if they're really worried about North Korea all the time. I would hope people would be like, what? Whereas this time one, it was like, well, we are seeing them go back and forth with tweets nonstop about nuclear buttons and all this other shit. Yeah. The fact that
they've been launching missiles and practice test launching for a while.
That's all they said in that press conference. Somebody hit the wrong button, right? That was pretty much it.
I was paraphrasing. I don't know how it worked, but the guy said that what I saw was that the system was a little hard to use and convoluted. It was just a mistake.
Yeah. But I figure they were inputting that message because that's an actual reality and that could happen. So as this thing continues to ramp, you want to be able to notify people as fast as possible. Yeah. And so that's why it is that thing.
And I'm sure that at any time in history, someone getting that message would be fucking horrifying. Many, many people would not just look at it and go, oh, this must be wrong. They'd look at it and go, this is fucking horrifying. But I believe that at this point in time, way more people are like, holy shit, I'm gonna die right now.
Oh yeah. I mean, every time I hear that stupid air raid signal that they still practice every Tuesday, I'm like, I don't like that. I hate the sound of that.
That's just for the typhoon. Don't worry.
Yeah, I know, but it sounds like a fucking World War II. Hey, we're in London and the Germans are about to bomb us right now.
Come by their biplanes and machine guns.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's on high alert. I don't know. I think it'll settle down a little bit more once Trump is out of the office. Do I think it's going to actually fix fix anything or really change anything if he's gone? No, but the president has always been responsible for sort of giving everyone at least a little boost of confidence, whether or not that's a facade, whether or not that's fake.
Yeah.
The president of the United States is looked to by everyone, almost every country in the world, I would gather, as a person who is a leader who is supposed to instill confidence that everything is going to be okay. No matter what is happening, we are supposed to be the people who are safeguarding everyone's future. At least that's the position that America has. We've tried to we've thought of as ourselves over the last 30 years.
Yeah, I mean, we're supposed to be able to look at him or her as what is going on.
When shit goes down, the president is supposed to be the person who comes on and goes, "We got this. Don't worry, everyone. You're not going to get bombed." North Korea, we're sanctioning them. We're figuring out a way to not poke this guy who is a fucking egomaniacal maniac in the belly and be like, ha ha ha, you don't know what's going on. Like, hey, try to nuke someone. But we're not getting that level of confidence. What we're getting is, as you're seeing the reports roll out, as you're seeing someone who, I mean, depending on if you believe in the excerpts from that new book or not, I haven't read Fire and Fury.
Yeah.
A lot of people are saying maybe it's factually inaccurate. I don't know, but you're seeing, he's like, this president doesn't work that much. You know, he's put in less work than any other president on a daily basis, and he's golfed more than any one other president, which, by the way, I think is actually an indisputable fact. That doesn't instill confidence in me, especially when you're on the golf course. Maybe you've thrown back a couple, and you're like, "Who wants to fuck with Kim Jong-un right now? You guys want to fuck with him?" And then he hands his phone to his kid and is like, "Just say something. It doesn't matter. Who cares? Woo! I'm powerful." I don't know.
Here's my next question. Something else I wanted to do last year, but we never ever got around to because I felt that it was going. But even now, do you? How long is Trump going to be president? You think he's going to make it through 4 years? Do you think 8 years?
I think he'll be 8 years.
Yeah, my thing is like, why would he? If he runs again, I can't see him losing.
Yeah.
And why wouldn't he run again? I feel like he would, unless he knows he's going to lose, he's not going to run again.
I know what you mean. Unless he knows he's going to lose, he's going to run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the presidents since I was born in the 80s, most of the presidents have been 2-term presidents, with the exception of Clinton. Wasn't Clinton the only one?
No, George Bush, this original.
George Bush Sr.?
Yeah.
Who only did 4 years?
He won in 89 and then, or he was president in 89. And
Clinton served 2 terms. Almost got, everyone wanted to impeach him because the whole scandal.
Yeah,
well,
it wasn't even
that. It was the Whitewater thing too and all that stuff, right? But I don't know. So I mean, I think it's very, very difficult for the incumbent to not win. The incumbent's the one that's was the opposite. Yeah. Generally speaking, I think that person has a lot of juice going into the next election. I think Trump is the kind of guy. I liken it to when I listened to that Hardcore History series, Dan Carlin's Hardcore History. Right? They talk about Genghis Khan, and they say that Genghis Khan took over more of the known world than anyone ever. Up until, I don't know, I guess probably ever. But they said one of the reasons why he had to keep conquering lands was because he had put so much money in his generals' pockets that if he stopped, they would have killed him. They would have been, if he pulled the plug and said, "Hey guys, we're going to pump the brake on this," they would have been like, "We got to kill this motherfucker. He's lost it," right? Yeah. And so I think when powerful people get into offices like the presidency, I don't think they can leave. I think you piss so many people off and you're beholden to so many different people that you're like, the only out is to stay in for another 4 years. And they'll be like, "Guys, I can't, my hands are tied. They got to kick me out," right? After 8 years, that's the law. I got to go. I think, I don't see him get the egomaniacal person, I shouldn't say egomaniacal, the egotistical person that I see on Twitter. No way he goes, "I don't want to be president anymore." Because why would he? Also, he's golfing most of the time. Who gives a fuck? You know, I'm joking about that. By the way, I don't know how many fucking days he goes golfing.
I'm pretty sure it's
a lot.
I'm pretty sure it's indisputable, like you said. But I mean, again, like we're talking about, there's just so much information out there. I can see it one of two ways. And I think the probability is I don't think he makes it 4 years, and I don't know if that's him quitting, if that's an impeachment, if that's a whatever. I just don't see him making it 4 years.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we'll see how this.
I remember 2 months ago looking back and being like, man, it is still crazy that it's almost normal that he's president, but it's that the normal is that it's so crazy that he's president. And I'm like, how long has it been? And I was like, it hasn't been a year yet.
It feels like an age.
Are you fucking kidding me?
It blows my mind. He's still our president. Our system is that much in place that he is still the president after all of this.
And there's so many things that we were like, that's illegal. How's he doing that? Or whatever that. And it's like, I don't know what people are waiting for to come in.
He's in place to keep that shit.
There is an ongoing FBI investigation.
Where he's trying to fire people involved with it.
Well, he fired the head of the FBI, and there's intricacies in that I find interesting as well. We won't go into that. The next head of the FBI that comes in is like, no, we're still going to keep this investigation going, and now they're subpoenaing people, and it's still going. But at this rate, he could legit go 8 years, and then they were like, you know, you did something wrong. He's like, I'm out.
Peace.
What are you gonna do? Put me in jail? Gotta find me in Mar-a-Lago.
I would say I still put my chips in that he won't make it 4 years.
Okay.
But even if he does and gets to running for re-election, I can't see him winning. Because I know that there are people who are happy, but I just can't imagine.
My thing is the
problem.
The thought I have on that is I agree with you. Like I said, like if he thinks he can win, he's capable of winning, he's going to go for it again. If he gets impeached or whatever, then yeah, he's fucking out, which is definitely a possibility. If at the end of 4 years he's still eligible and still ready, I think he's going to go for it, and I think he's going to win, because at the end of the day, I think there are more stupid people in America where it's not about the actual cause, it's about proving the other side wrong.
Sure.
So whether it's the extreme left,
I don't agree with him, but I'm a Republican. I'm going to vote for him.
It's like there's so many people that are just voting against each other and not voting for people. And I think that the amount of people voting
the
for or
approval
against causes
it's the
is
approval
different.
ratings, number one, and then number two, I just think here's the way he would win in 3 more years or whatever would be the fact if the Democrats still haven't come up with, here's a person that people like.
And I don't think they're going to, because I think it's going to be split. And
Smiling Joe Biden.
In addition to that, I think that the approval ratings don't say anything, because the approval ratings are not the people I'm talking about. The approval ratings are the people I'm talking about that are actually going to be voting and whatever. Then there's these millions of votes that are just fucking vapid fight.
Well, a couple of things that play into this. One is that we have to be careful because we do curate and cultivate an echo chamber online for ourselves, right? When you go and you only follow people that are aligned with your political views, you don't really have an accurate swath, like swath of everyone, right? That's not all the people I follow are very hyper liberal, mostly games journalists, and a lot of my friends, with the very rare exception of a few people that live in Texas who are conservatives. They're not bad people. They're Tyru is a conservative, right? And so you have to be careful when you say, "Oh, I think everyone hates him," for one reason, because I feel like, A, we don't follow a lot of conservatives, and B, even if you were someone that supported him, if someone called you and said, "What do you think of President Trump right now?" would you feel safe in saying, "I kind of like the guy"? So you got to be careful with approval ratings or any sort of census, because I don't know if I think we proved when he got elected, and everyone's like, "There's no way he's going to get elected," and the guy fucking elected, that none of that really holds as much water as it used to. And I also think there is something to be said for the reason the incumbent always wins is because fear of
Change.
the unknown. Sometimes it's better to take the enemy you know versus the enemy you don't know. You know, it's like we already know what Trump's capable of, and in 4 years, if we haven't gotten us nuked, people are gonna be like, "Well, he didn't get us nuked. He's fine." Right?
Wait, real quick, guys. I'm sorry. I was on the phone for a while. What do you guys keep mentioning approval ratings?
Donald Trump's approval ratings are supposed to be at an all-time low right now.
Yeah. Like, okay. Got it.
That's what we're. That's
all
what
right,
we're.
Cool. Just making sure.
No, I hear you.
Yes. So I don't know. I think if he runs again, he wins again. I think the only thing that will keep him from running is if his lawyers go, "Hey man, some shit's going down. Maybe it'd be better if you just backed off of this."
Get to international
and the
waters.
FBI. Like I don't know. I don't know a lot of the intricacies of the ins and outs of Mueller's investigation with him. But I have to imagine if in 3 years they start finding some stuff and they're like, "Hey man, you might be culpable in this." Maybe there's an out there for him to be like, "If I don't run again, are we cool?" And the FBI goes, "Yeah, we cool." And he goes, "All right."
That's what you're saying.
But who the hell knows?
Is Snoop Dogg running the FBI there?
I would fucking love it if Snoop Dogg ran the FBI, because everything would be so legal. Everything would be legal. Cool Greg would be a Secretary of State or whatever.
Yeah, oh yeah, oh my God. Can you imagine?
Cool Greg could be Deputy Director of the FBI. And he's like, yeah.
I'm honestly
Skeet, skeet.
shocked that we've almost been a year and there hasn't been an attempt on his life. Like I totally thought that
I
was
don't
going to
think
be a thing.
it's like,
and I still think it's going to be at some point.
Yeah,
and
but
I think that it might have been and it's been hidden.
It's possible.
It blows my mind that, like, because with how much vitriol people have for this man and how much they believe in standing up against him, I don't know.
It's not the right way to solve
flip
it,
it though the same way, where it's we always talk about that there was this undercurrent of racist. I'm not gonna say Southern, but like, you know, like the people you picture as like the racist motherfuckers who didn't want a black president, right? And they're probably in the NRA, and they're probably don't take my guns, and those fuckers didn't shoot Obama or try to get far enough that it's like on the news.
I'd
or whatever.
argue this is different though. I mean, I'd argue that the crazy people on the far left, like, they are so much more evangelical. I'm fighting for what I fucking believe in than I think even the other side is, and that's why I think this is different because
but the far left, they're not the NRA. They don't have any guns. Joking.
Far left Far left
was a
are up
joke.
at Berkeley. They're loving.
Someone's trying to kill him with a fucking Birkenstock. They're just throwing Birkenstocks at him. It's like,
Crocs.
it's cork.
Crocs.
It's cork.
Soft Crocs.
You're not gonna hurt
People
anything.
on the head. falling
No,
down.
I mean, obviously, all kidding aside, like, no, I would never want that to happen anyway.
Oh God,
because
no.
ultimately,
Tim's not saying
No,
want to.
I know that. I just want for everyone clarifying out there, like, you guys are terrible.
That does not need clarifying.
Yeah.
No one is saying that. I'm saying that
I'm gonna
shocked it has to happen.
unnecessarily clarify that, not on your behalf, but on all of our behalfs, right? Like, to me, it's still the presidency, right? To me, there's that office, no matter what Trump does, no matter how many times he walks around with his balls out or shits all over the place or talks bad about, I made those two off.
I was gonna say I have missed those articles.
Well, no, I'm sorry. Let me go back. How many times he says the White House is a piece of shit, a rundown piece of shit, or no matter how many times he says you may or may not be from a piece of shit country, he's still the president, and the presidency still means something to me. And that is still the highest office someone can hold in our land, and it's still, I think, something that deserves respect. I just wish he respected it as much as the rest of us do, and that's the unfortunate aspect of that.
That's a good way to put it. Nick.
Yes.
First off, I want to say, hey, cool, Greg, can I get another beer? But then I want to say, Nick.
LaCroix.
And a coffee with some Cool Greg, like, he terrified me the other day. I was like, hey man, the refrigerator smells a little funky. Can you see if there's anything in there? And as I was drinking coffee, he goes, you know what? I think it's your half and half. And I was like, I'm like, did you want to tell me that earlier? He's like, nah, man, I think you know more than I do about stuff. And I'm like, well, I don't want food poisoning.
Was it your half and half?
No, I think there's just some food that's been left in there.
Is it mine? Because I bring food.
There's a couple things in to-go containers that we'll just need to take a look at.
Cool,
It also just might be the overall funk of the fridge that hasn't been cleaned out in a while. Cool Greg went and got one of those new little, like, you open the baker's
the
baking soda.
Yeah.
So I think that'll help some of it.
Kevin, what happened to our maid? It seems like she just disappeared.
I told you guys before we went on vacation that she's taking a month off.
Seems like it's been a long month.
I don't remember.
Well, I mean, the month didn't start till January.
Huh, okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Kevin's working on bringing someone else in here to clean. We got a backup. He's working on it.
Is it your brother?
No.
Bring Spencer?
I would love it if we made Spencer would go like this.
Good job.
No, I don't want to do it. And we just walk away. And I'd be like, God damn it, I can't. I'd be like, I can't.
Can't fault you.
I can't fault him for that. I don't want to clean my own piss up. Yeah, it's disgusting.
Whoa, you pissed on the floor here too?
Christ.
No, I sit down when I pee. That has been well documented through the years of the podcast.
Yeah,
So any piss that's been splattered everywhere, unless my stream is particularly robust that day, is not coming from me.
God damn.
Fuck,
Nick.
just splashing back out.
I drink a lot of liquids. You drink a lot of
I
liquids
drink
too.
a lot of liquids too, but I don't have robust splash.
Nick, what's your topic?
I got a thick stream, is all I'm saying. My topic, let's lighten the load here a little bit. I saw one of those images that I was unfortunately looking for. I didn't prep it. I'm sorry, guys. Maybe Kevin can find it for us. With all the lightsaber battles from Star Wars.
Lighten the load. You're going to start this conversation with lighten the load, and then you're going to bring Star Wars into it? I don't know if you realize, Nick, this is a heightened fucking time. People have feelings.
Here's where I think people are going to be happy, and they're going to come back to the old Nick camp. Because I've lost a lot of followers because of my...
Have you really?
No, not at all. But because of my... there it is. Greg, show the camera. Watto, thank you. My harsh criticisms of Star Wars The Last Jedi have not...
quote, they've ruined my childhood. Now, said of course in a high emotional state, then repeated week after week.
For 3 weeks. There it is. Thank you, Kev.
Ooh.
Yeah, I was looking at this. I don't know. Tim, you would know more. I'm sure there's a few more
Hold on,
than
Kevin
this.
says.
Yeah, there are more.
Because the only way to show this right now is to put it behind you.
That's fine.
That's fine. It looks cool.
I'll get up and I'll do the pointing. I'll let people know what I'm talking about.
Now, Tim, you are probably a little bit more well versed in all of the lightsaber battles. Do we want to just go off of like the ones that people think of, or do we need to do like Grievous versus Obi-Wan?
There's not too many more to add to this list going through. Episode 1 had Qui-Gon versus Darth Maul. In addition to this, that was where Darth Maul had only one of his blades out.
Yeah.
Or whatever the fuck, sabers out.
Wait, that was the one like
Talking about
that was
on Tatooine.
that was that
on
badass
Tatooine.
one where he didn't even
So
stop.
Kevin, I'm gonna need your help for this one.
I'm here, bro.
For all of them.
He just ghost rode his own whip. Just keep going. He just flipped off of it.
Episode 2, we had the
Count Dooku.
The Coliseum fight.
Dooku and Yoda, and then we had the Coliseum.
But that wasn't lightsaber on lightsaber.
on lightsaber.
Yeah.
So that is but there was a lot of lightsabers in it.
they
The
were.
most lightsabers we've ever seen.
Yeah.
in
God,
a
that was
scene.
a fucking cool moment.
And then we
movie
obviously have Dooku versus
Thanks, sir.
Anakin, which
And-
led into
and Obi-Wan.
and
much,
Obi-Wan, and that's where we
like
see him with the
And then Yoda comes
the
out.
2 different lightsabers.
Remember when Yoda comes out?
0.5 seconds.
All right, I fucked up because I meant to get the whiteboard out. Now I've never gone to the whiteboard before. I don't know if I have domain over the whiteboard.
It's what I call international water.
Right now, it's got a sunset thermometer dick on it, so I don't know if we need that.
I'm getting it.
Are you gonna get it?
You gonna get it?
Okay.
Are you gonna write? So you're gonna write these out as I say them?
I'm gonna write them out as you say them, abbreviated, and then we can go in. I don't know if we necessarily need to rank them, but we can just talk about them, the pros and cons of them, whether or not we care about them, and then put a number by them.
Does anything about this poster over here bother you?
I mean, it doesn't have 8.
It doesn't need it.
When I saw it
there wasn't a lightsaber on lightsaber battle.
Doesn't matter.
There was the one I saw had 8 in it, Kevin, where it was like them.
No,
Rogue One really bothers the image that Rogue One is in here.
Oh, that's so sick.
Because everything is lightsaber.
I don't care. It's the lightsaber battle of the movie.
For a second, I thought Cool Greg was wiping the board off with just his bare hands, and I was like, "That is fucking dedication."
What a man!
Should I go
dedication to the sport?
Do we leave this up or what's?
Leave it up for now, just for the fun of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's so much fun.
Oh, there's another one. Look at the top right image.
Yeah, what's that top right image?
Top right?
On the Google image?
Oh, yeah, that's pretty rad.
Yeah, I don't know.
I saw one that had Rey and Kylo.
There's a new
ran
version
back
of
to
this
back,
one, yeah,
which I thought was cool.
dope as fuck. All right, are you ready for the whiteboard, Nick?
You got it. Okay.
I'm setting you up, Big Daddy.
Thank you, sir. I got it.
I'm making my way downtown.
All right. Kicking it off, Tim.
Yes, episode 1.
So how,
go back.
How are you doing? You're writing them in there, and then you're gonna go.
Yeah, we'll write them in there,
Then number 'em from
abbreviate
there.
it, and then we can kind of just go from there. Episode 1, we have Darth Maul versus Qui-Gon. Okay.
How can we forget?
Yeah, how could you forget?
That was really cool. Fucking Darth Maul comes in with his
It was
little,
cool. His
speeder
little speeder
bike.
bike jumps off.
Woo!
It
Does
was
a
cool.
backflip off, right?
Then we got Duel of the Fates.
Arguably the best fight ever
So we got Duel
choreographed.
of the Fates. Episode 2, we have the arena, the Coliseum.
Okay.
We also have Anakin and Obi-Wan versus Dooku.
So-
And then I would separate that Dooku versus Yoda.
Yoda. Fucking. So cool.
Are we missing any?
Dooku Yoda was cool.
Into?
Yeah.
Was
That's
not the,
you know what?
That's
was
the one where
too much.
he walked out and dropped the stick and then went blah, and we all went
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It was too much, but it was
Into-
really cool.
I'm gonna also
Regardless.
add, just because we're like kind of just giving the lightsaber fights, whatever. Obi-Wan versus Jango.
Okay. I mean,
That's not a lightsaber
no, it's
fight,
not a
though, is it?
lightsaber fight, man.
Jango Fett
Neither's
didn't have
fucking Rogue One with Vader.
Yeah,
No,
we
I'm gonna
shouldn't
take
count
Rogue One
that
off
one.
too because I don't
Yeah.
believe that's. I'm saying
I don't think
lightsaber
it's a
duel.
It has to. A lightsaber has to touch another lightsaber.
No, I don't believe in that.
Sabers need to touch,
I don't
bro.
believe in that.
Sabers
Saber
need
touch!
to touch.
We can okay, fine. We can get rid of Rogue One and stuff. We can get rid of that. But I mean, episode 8, we're counting that fucking fight where they team up.
I count it in episode 8. Yes.
And they don't lightsabers.
There were
don't
two.
touch
There were two people.
But there's
they
a
both
lot
had
of force
lightsabers.
involved. There's a lot of force happening.
And let's be honest, the other people, the other people, those were
I don't know the
lightsabers. Those other
midichlorian
people had
count.
too.
There's more. You do know the midichlorian count for Anakin.
We're getting into the debate portion of this.
Okay.
Let's finish the list portion of this.
I mean, you just took
and go
the
from
debate
there.
of the list. Okay, it doesn't matter.
Grievous.
Going through this episode 3, there was Grievous versus Obi-Wan.
Yes, I love Grievous.
Do you? Do you love Grievous?
I love the idea.
There was
Colin when he was like, "So many lightsabers we give this jackass." Might still be my favorite quote of his all time.
Obi-Wan versus Anakin. Was there any others, Kevin? 3
In
of
3?
consequence. Besides Anakin just destroying all the younglings and all that.
Damn,
I'm
that was
guessing
a scene,
there
that was a
was a
scene.
lot of like the whole.
There was the Emperor versus.
Oh yeah,
Emperor versus
Yoda. That was no. That
put that
definitely goes
fucking-
on.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, I was
there.
gonna say the Emperor versus
this thing where he's turning it.
Mace.
Mace Windu. Yeah,
Kind of right.
he had a
Well,
lightsaber.
no, but he kills 4 other Jedi Masters that don't even have time to pull out their lightsaber.
Is there? Oh God, fucking
God.
episode 3.
Cause they bitches.
Kid Fisto was so cool.
There was a
Remember how
guy
cool Kid
named King Fisto.
Kit
Kit
Fisto.
Fisto.
He fisted so much that he was
He
the
was
king.
green and had like crazy
I know him.
tentacle.
No, I know
yeah,
King
yeah,
Fisto.
yeah. Kit Fisto.
Well, Kiadi Mundi.
Stupid made up aliens.
I hated that guy. I
That
know
takes
who
us
you're
up
talking
to
about.
the next 3 movies.
Yoda versus Emperor, Obi-Wan, Mace versus Emperor. Okay, sure.
Okay.
Then let's see, next 3. So we got
Obi-Wan versus Vader.
versus Vader.
I'm gonna say it right now. The worst lightsaber one.
Not
no
even a
matter
chance.
no matter what that is the, if it's 9, that's number 9. If it's 1,000,000, that's number 1,000,000.
You're wrong.
2,
Empire
we got
Strikes Back.
Luke versus Vader.
We got Luke versus Vader. That's it.
Luke versus Vader. Isn't that where Obi-Wan dies?
That's
Episode
a New
1.
Hope. We're in Empire Strikes Back.
3, we
Oh, I'm
got
sorry,
Empire. We
yeah.
got Luke versus Vader. 2, round 2.
Yeah.
Super fight.
Yeah. Hands off to them, you know what I mean?
Luke versus Vader with Emperor.
With
okay. That's the what's the called?
Emperor is Vader's
Throne
valet
scene.
in this one.
Throne scene. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's a wrestling
Emperor sitting
wrestling
there
cut for you
stroking it.
fans out there.
Okay. Then episode 7, we have Rey versus Kylo. Forest fight.
Great scene. Does what's his face get points for trying to fight?
Oh, you want to say John Boyega?
Yeah,
Finn.
Finn.
No.
John Boyega.
He full on lightsaber fights. He gets his back slashed.
True.
Yeah.
True. He is involved in that fight. I'd say he's involved in the fight. That's not a separate fight. I count that as one whole scene.
Okay, all right.
All right. So then the next
That,
thing we have.
got the
that is
Emperor-
like the Yoda fight in episode
That's true.
2.
But I feel like that's longer.
Just barely. It
a
was
lot
a
of
quick
fights.
fight.
There's a lot of fights here. So then the last one we have is Rey and Kylo against
Rey and
the
Kylo
Snoke's
versus the
people.
guards.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
guards.
Which,
okay.
frankly, I'm very
absolutely
unimpressed.
So I'm gonna bring this around.
Very
Can you guys
unimpressed
both
by-
see this?
Yeah, but
It's a-
let
it's
the
a- it's a
audience see.
deep
Let the
list.
audience see.
It's a deep list.
Now, what I'd like to give,
It's a
I don't
deep
want to put
list.
it on the list. Kevin, I'm going to need your help on this one. I don't want to put it on the list.
Oh, God.
But a special shout out to Jay and Silent Bob versus the Cock Knocker. Blunt Man and Chronic versus the Cock Knocker in Jay and Silent Bob.
There is
Strike Back.
lightsaber on lightsaber
Thank
there.
you. Thank you. Bong sabers.
Bong sabers, that's right.
So let's start with the ones
We
So
hate.
these are
we
just
don't
the canon
like.
films.
Yeah, these are the canon films.
No
I feel.
TV
Here's what we
bullshit.
should probably do. Let's just pick our top 5 of these.
Okay.
How does that sound? I don't want to rank all these because
I'm
we
with
have
you.
to.
I'm with you.
Let's just try to see if we can come to some level of consensus on what our top 5 all-time lightsaber duels are. Which one's number 1 is probably the most important.
Cool. Let's cross off some.
Let's cross off. Some.
I think we can cross out Mason Emperor. We already
Emperor.
forgot that fucking shit. We
I
already-
mean, it was barely a fight. He just
it was
cuts off
fucking
his
bad.
arms.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
Very bad.
I'm
Looked
at
like
the arena fight stuff.
shit. Arena fight.
Too much going on. I
Shout
think.
out to the amount of lightsabers, but yeah, that shit gets.
That's
tough.
when they're all tied to the rocks.
Yep.
Okay.
Duel of the Fates for sure has
Duel
to
of
stay
the
on
Fates
there.
stays regardless of how stupid it actually is.
I'm gonna vote for the original Darth Maul versus Qui-Gon Jinn fight to stay on there for a
No,
sec.
take that
You're
shit
crazy.
off.
It's
Take
never
that
going to make
shit
it. You're
off.
wasting your
That thing
time and your
ain't making
breath.
Yeah. It
You're
was
right.
15 seconds long.
Like yeah, compared.
It was so cool when he flipped off his thing.
It was, but then it was way cooler when he had
came
the
at
double
them
blade come
hard,
out.
bro. All right, cool. All right, so that's gonna go. That's gonna go.
All right.
Dooku versus Yoda. No, Anakin. I'm sorry. Next one is Anakin, Obi-Wan versus Count Dooku. I don't
Gone.
even remember that one.
Dumb.
Who cares?
Gone.
Christopher-
There's technically in episode 3, there is another one of Dooku versus the two of them
Oh,
again.
yeah.
in the
And they beat
beginning,
him quickly.
And then they decapitate him. Decapitating, cool. Rest of that, not cool.
Yeah.
Dooku versus Yoda?
Versus Yoda. This is going to be a contentious one. There's two
Okay.
camps. I don't think anyone in this room is on one side of that camp,
No, I don't like that one.
but maybe Kevin is. I don't know.
I love that.
Okay. well
It
then
was the first time
there's Team
seeing
Kevin
Yoda
versus everyone
fucking
else.
be
I liked it.
what they said he was.
I hated it.
I like the
Animation.
excitement of
No,
Yoda
not
being
true.
Yoda.
They never said he was this thing. They never talked
They
about
did.
him.
They did
Yeah,
in
what are you talking
episode
about?
2.
No,
They
no
did
swords?
in
When
Oh, in
Luke,
episode 2. Oh, okay, Kevin. It's the first time we saw him
Hey, man.
in the episode.
Hey,
that
man.
they fucking did it in.
There was if you were driving as much as you were dueling, no, the other way around. If you were dueling as much as you were driving, you'd be as good as a dueler as fucking Yoda.
But don't forget though. But you're forgetting that in Dagobah, there's that line when Luke turns to R2. He's like, "I bet this little thing can fucking jump around and shit."
So, my vote is to
man.
cross that shit out.
Hey man, look at that little Muppet man. He can jump around and do shit.
Fan service wise, it's dope as fuck.
It's cool.
But it's like at the end of the day,
But it also,
it's
to me,
embarrassing.
it never made sense, right? Yoda had always, now granted, Yoda's a lot younger in this, but he's not that much
Not
younger.
that much younger.
Not that much
He's
younger.
900 years old.
900
when he
years
dies.
old. Yeah, what are we talking,
They
like
say
20
it's that
years
last 30
later?
years where it really kicks
It
in.
really takes a toll. It's where dementia sets in, too. You go off living a fucking weird swamp. I'm going to take it off only because I thought it was so uncharacteristically not Yoda. That's my vote.
While we're here, can we talk about a show we always talked about doing, but we're never actually going to do?
Yoda versus Watto.
Where we wanted, no, we wanted to do the unanswered questions of Star Wars. And episode 1 was going to be how Yoda got all the bowls and silverware.
In Dagobah, it was just like, what's up with Sebulba?
Is Jimmy Smith's dropping off bowls, wooden bowls?
And shout out to Jimmy Smith's making that comeback, right?
Yeah.
Going back in Rogue One. Like, hey, man, I'm still around. Still around.
I mean, I don't know. I want to cross that one off the list. I don't
Why
know.
don't we come back? I'll put a
Do you
check
wanna
mark by it.
circle it or
We're gonna
something?
circle back
Check
around
mark
it.
means trouble.
We're gonna circle back around.
Okay.
Circle that.
I'll circle back
The
around.
Grievous versus Obi-Wan. I don't remember that fight.
It went on way too long.
Fights
Cool as an
drones
idea.
too, right?
You know how we just
So
in Iron
long.
Man 2 we talked about the whiplash and how cool it was when
Yeah,
he
yeah.
did the like.
Yeah.
Grievous did that too, and that was
20
tight.
minutes.
No,
for
it
a
wasn't
second,
tight. It
and then it was
wasn't
really
tight.
not tight. And then they got in the little rolly things. There was too many phases to the fight, and it was too CG.
Okay.
And at the end, Obi-Wan shoots him in the heart.
Which,
We're knocking it out.
Oh
We're
my
knocking
god!
it out.
Fuck
What the
Grievous,
fuck?
man.
Yeah.
I just watched episode 2 and 3 last week.
Cool, Greg.
So I'm quite familiar with these things.
Cool, Greg. Can you bring me another rag, please? I'm gonna, yeah, bring another rag. Okay, Obi-Wan versus Anakin, episode 3.
Here's the
Don't
thing.
fucking touch that.
We got to keep that on the list
It's
for
gonna be
now.
number 5.
But I don't
gonna
know
be
if
dead
it's gonna
last.
stay. Because honestly,
That
guys,
has one of the worst lines in like Star Wars lore ever.
I have the
I
high
have the
ground.
higher ground by 2 feet.
that scene or that whole scene is like 15 minutes
so
long.
long.
And I'd say maybe 2 minutes of it are good, but those 2 minutes are really good. But there's 13
It's
other
because the
minutes.
music. It's because the music.
The music's good. The problem that scene has is there's not enough dialogue. There's way too much flipping around, way too much jumping and holding random ass hovercrafts, way too much towers falling and set pieces that seem totally unnecessary, and not enough like them actually having a falling out. And then the dialogue we do get, some of it's really good, some of it's the high ground.
But counterpoint, it's dope.
Yeah, but
Dope as fuck, some would say.
but here's my thing: dope goes to Duel of the Fates. If we're
Dope
giving,
as
if we're giving
fuck.
fights for
Dope
dope,
awards. We're giving out a dope award on top of all this.
Also, cheesy ending. And is that where he learned about the high ground? That's not how the high ground worked.
no.
I think we can all agree that
not how the high ground
I think we
works.
can all agree it needs to stay on the list. As to whether it will be on the
Win.
list,
Yeah.
we'll figure that out in a
Yeah,
second.
it needs to
Yoda
stay.
versus the Emperor in the Senate room.
Fucking leave that.
Is straight out.
Are you fucking kidding me? If you throw that out, this list has no merit, and the internet will not stand for it.
I really like the scene where he is just crawling away in fear.
The
Was it fear or defeat?
it was fucking fear.
It was
He was getting things tossed.
He just got
Wait,
the
who's
shit.
crawling? I forgot.
Yoda.
Yeah, I thought so.
No.
He just got the shit beat out of
Yeah.
him. And he was like,
Oh shit! So the thing is, I don't think anyone would debate that the Yoda versus Emperor fight is worse than the Yoda versus Dooku fight.
Leave it on, please. Here's
Why would you leave that on?
Because you're trying to knock off my favorite fights, and I really want to do a weighted vote at the end and totally fuck with the entire system and
How
make
is
the
that
internet
your
mad.
favorite fight?
It's one of them.
Yoda versus the Emperor.
Yeah, man.
There's no way, Greg.
Hey, shit was
There's
happening.
no way.
You go back and
I
watch
want you
any
to-
of these
I want
fucking
you to
original
watch this
trilogy,
shit.
it's all fucking limp dick old men going, man.
But that makes sense. It makes sense.
Except for when we go back and find out these fuckers can jump from high places.
And it's stupid and unnecessary. There's no dialogue.
Shit you not, I'm watching episode 1.
and they fucking jump him 30 feet
Qui-Gon
up.
and Obi like do like some ninja jump off it, and I'm like, what the fuck?
when they both get together and they're like, all right, ready to do the jump? Okay. And it's like, wait, why did they add that? Why is that
Why?
something they
They're
needed?
introducing
Why?
their Jedi powers to me.
Great.
God.
Just leave it on for me just a little bit longer.
we're gonna
Just a
leave
little
it
bit
on.
longer.
Obi-Wan versus Vader in New
Cross
Hope.
it the fuck off. It's a bad fight.
It's the first fight ever. It's got to
I
stay on
know.
the list.
Well,
Here's
are
the
we
thing.
going
I don't
by
fuck
fun
with
fights?
you with this shit because I don't like this whole. It's the first one needs to stay.
Thank you.
Did you
No,
guys see
but
the
that fight has depth to it. That fight
Jesus
means
fucking-
something.
No,
However,
it doesn't. It doesn't. Oh,
however,
hey, Luke's looking at me. I'll turn it off, and now I'm a fucking coat. What the fuck?
A coat. I'm a coat. I'm a long winter coat.
Wait, did you
Are
guys
you cold
see
in Chicago?
Did you guys see
Take me out.
Someone like made a new version of it with like
I did
more
see that. That
modern
was awesome.
fighting. Did you not see
If that
this?
fight was awesome,
with what?
It's the Obi-Wan
Vader
Darth
fight?
Vader fight, but made with modern
like modern
the way
Star
they
Wars
fought. Yeah,
lightsaber
I need
shit.
to check
it
that
looks
out.
incredible. I'll look for it now.
Kev, I'm gonna get up and open the window.
So we are or not
So my
taking
thing
this
is,
off?
my argument would be, I disagree with Greg because he's an idiot, but I would cross it off because as meaningful as that fight was and whatever, we have so many other ones that are way more meaningful, whether it's the Empire fight or the Jedi fight. So I'll cross it off.
Well, you two outvoted me on this one. I'd like to keep it on. I'd like for the record to show that I was not the person to take this off, but I will now cross this off. We are keeping the Yoda Emperor fight on, but we're taking Obi-Wan Kenobi's first fight on.
Isn't this the one where Emperor does like
Yoda fight making it to the end?
Doesn't the Emperor does like in this one like the right, and he has like the teeth and the face, and he's like, that's fucking cool. Here's the thing, guys. I understand that you all want to sit here and act like Star Wars is still your fucking Jesus fish. I'll tell you what it really is. It's popcorn movies for mainstream fans like myself. This is actually motion.
The prequels are, and that's why they happened.
Luke versus Vader and The Empire Strikes Back.
Don't even remember it.
One of the most beautifully shot scenes of all time, rivaled maybe only by the fight in Jedi. I say there's no way both of those scenes aren't in the final.
They have to be in the
This is the one where he gets his
hand cut off. I'm your father. Luke, I'm your father.
I don't remember the fight leading up to that. I remember that moment, obviously.
It's Vader just fucking trashing it. It's Vader just throwing everything, like Luke's like struggling so much. Yeah, he's really, and like Vader's
Sounds like
just
a boring
using the
ass
force
fight.
to pull all the walls off. It's great.
Are you gonna put this on the wall for the other people to see?
Let me have Tim watch it first. Then
Why? If it's on the wall, it's not like we're gonna get ID claimed on it and shit. I heard Disney's not as cool with people doing this now.
They do love it. They love it when you take their IP.
It doesn't look great for you guys.
It looks great to me.
Okay.
I think Nick, look at this. You seen this? You seen this shit, Nick? We seen some shit.
What is the deal with it? He's gonna flip?
This is them if they did it now.
He's gonna jump?
Yeah, see? Like, see if they filmed it like real men film lightsaber fights. Rather than two old fucks sitting there with their canes tapping each other.
Did they just speed it up? What did they do?
They sped it up and like made crazy motions. That
and look at like, all right, cool. Well, you know what? I've lived in the sand like a fucking grub my whole life. When I turn it off, they kill me. I'm a coat.
Cool, I'm down with that.
Do you think at any point Obi-Wan was like, I could probably beat this dude right now, but then we won't have a story?
Probably.
Like, I fucked him up already once. I can fuck him up again. We're both the same age.
It's very similar to fucking Luke Skywalker now being a huge pussy and just hiding on a rock, letting everything get out of control, drinking blue milk out of somebody's nip.
Going back into it.
Sentient. That thing is sentient.
That was his look on that one.
It really was.
Well, anyway, so yeah,
Ray versus Kylo in the forest. I would argue that was really fucking cool.
Yeah, leave it for now.
Here's the thing.
She's just magically becomes...
undeniably, the thing is the choreography of the final two, so Rey versus Kylo, and then Rey and Kylo versus everyone else, I think undeniably are the top two. But I think when you add in the story elements, when you add in a bunch of other stuff, the emotional stuff, it starts to get a little more complicated. Where I think that the episode 7 fight would be bumped lower. I think the episode 8 fight is one of the highest.
The scene where Rey throws the hilt at Kylo, he catches it, turns it on and off, and the fucking hole on the dude's head.
Yeah, that entire fight was what the prequels tried to do, and instead of it just being style over substance, there was style and substance. So that's why I would argue that fight is very high.
Okay.
We have 8 points.
You're saying that the Snoke fight.
Just making sure I was caught up. Sorry.
So the forest fight
is fantastic.
I thought it was
too.
cool. Yeah, that was really cool because it was a lot of emotion backed into that. Rey didn't know what she was doing, but there was still raw and like just raw fucking emotion in there, and it really came through in the finals in the final choreography. I thought. All right, we've got 8, maybe 7, depending on whether we want to take Dooku versus Yoda off at this point.
No, you mean
why do you call it that?
I apologize. Well, you're trying to do a top 5, right?
Because Count Dooku.
So you got to knock 3 off right here.
We got to knock 3 off. I'm going to go Dooku versus Yoda just has to go.
Go?
Yeah,
okay.
knock it off.
That's going to go.
Knock the fuck out.
You can keep Yoda versus the Emperor.
No, I can't.
Just
I know
take
that's
it
about
off.
to get killed. I can already see what you motherfuckers are about to kill.
To make this clear, the one that you're erasing is way better than Yoda versus Emperor.
No, it isn't.
Yes, it is.
Dooku versus
That's the one
Yoda
that
is a
starts with
much
him
better
fucking
fight.
pulling the thing out and grabbing it.
God, it was a dope entrance, but the fight was whatever. He was too much motion.
Yo, R2, I bet this little guy
Should we leave it on?
At least in
Should
the
we leave that
Yoda
on?
versus Emperor is not a lightsaber fight by your guys' rules.
Good point. Good point.
Is there no...
We're going to put Dooku versus the Yoda back on.
Don't even bother. You got to knock off 3. So what are you going to do?
All right.
You got 4 at the bottom. You're not knocking off Duel of Fates. You're going to kill Obi versus Anakin because you guys hate good shit.
Real talk, my list would be cut Obi versus Anakin and have the others because, like I said, Obi versus Anakin is more bad than good. Although I understand that should have been amazing. But those are the fights.
I'm inclined to agree with Tim as well on this, just because I did not remember liking that one very much, and the other ones are iconic to me at least.
That one is iconic though. There's nothing fucking cooler than seeing blue on blue lightsabers against the fucking Mustafar lava in the back.
Yeah.
Oh, didn't he have red at the time? He was still using the... Oh, that's right, yeah, because he picks it up.
It's freaking cool.
All right, I'm gonna take that one off. I'm calling an audible. We're taking this off.
I'm down.
This list is
appreciate that.
bullshit.
What a great list.
So right now the list stands: the Duel of the Fates.
Wow, a lot of diversity on this list.
Luke versus Vader in Empire. Luke versus Vader in The Return of the Jedi. Rey versus Kylo in the Forest, and Rey and Kylo team up together to take down Snoke.
And then Duel of the Fates.
I just said Duel of the Fates.
Duel of Fates
You know,
should be
you think you
second.
did, but you didn't.
Duel
I
of
think I
Fates
started
should be
with Duel of the
second.
Fates.
What do you think's first?
8.
You think?
I really
You
do.
think?
It's a good
It's a
fucking
good scene.
it's a good
It's
thing.
really
Good
good.
scene in a
No
bad
way.
movie.
I'm gonna rewrite this list as you guys debate, and we're gonna put hash marks up, and that one we'll do this democratically.
Yeah.
How does that sound?
I mean, okay, before we even start that, this is complicated because now what are we talking about? Are we talking about just lightsaber scene or
It's fucking cool,
scene?
man.
Because at this point, these are just some of the best scenes in Star Wars.
Yeah.
And like to me, nothing will ever beat any scene in Star Wars than Luke versus Vader
Moscow.
2 with Emperor.
Me too. That's my number one.
So like that would be number one, no matter what, just because of that, because of how it's shot, because of how it looks and everything. However, from a lightsaber fight standpoint, I think 8's better.
You think that Return of the Jedi's lightsaber fight is better than Empire's?
I do.
Dude,
It is.
Empire's is fucking solid.
There's some at the
It's a
throne
better
room.
fight.
Especially, it's like the most iconic Star Wars scene. The line that is like most well known and misquoted.
Yeah, but I love the way that whole scene plays out in the throne room, right? Where he's like, hey, you're here, you're fucked. All your friends out there, they're fucked.
They're fucked.
No matter what you do, they're all fucked. And you just got to give into this. That's all you got to do. And it's shot in such a beautiful way where everything's like silhouetted except for the color of the lightsabers.
colors.
They're
There's so
both
much
wearing
steam.
black. Like Luke's wearing all
Both in black, and you see Luke giving into it.
Yeah, he's
you
giving
see him
into
fucking
it.
railing on Darth
Yeah, that's
Vader,
so cool,
cutting
right?
off his robot hand.
Yeah, and then he looks at his own
Realizing
hand and he's
we're
like,
alike.
"I know, we're the same blood."
So
I gotta
good.
give it to Jedi. I gotta give it to that fight in Jedi. That's my thing. I don't know,
That's your number
hey,
one?
dude, this is the type of debate that I'm good with. I'm happy with all of them.
Greg. Where do you
But
come
I just
down?
want to say Duel of the Fates is not number one. As a lot of people, I think it's the
No.
easy go-to answer. And Duel of the Fates is awesome
To be
for many
fair,
reasons.
Duel of the Fates
Obi-Wan
is my.
coming through and having to wait and the
Fucking
meditating and all
so
that.
many points losing right
so
there.
cool.
I thought
so
that was
cool.
fucking cool.
I loved that.
Darth Maul sitting
You
back
love
there like a
that?
goddamn caged
Yeah.
tiger.
I do like that when he walks back.
When he's walking back and forth,
he's
looking at
fucking
Qui-Gon Jinn.
Qui-Gon Jinn sits down and just starts meditating. It's such an awesome little
Obi-Wan
like.
grows his rat tail.
Yeah, Obi-Wan's like, look at my rat tail. It's 1983. It's fucking weird. But I think, so for me, Jedi is my top. That's my number one. Number two for me is Duel of the Fates, I think.
Really?
Yeah, I remember getting to that scene going, man, there's really nothing that can salvage this movie for me. Like, I don't know if I like this movie or not. And then I get to that scene. And that was the scene that I walked out of theaters going, that was a pretty good Star Wars movie. Only upon reflection did I realize that I was totally wrong. But that scene took it for me from like a solid 70% to a good 85.
I mean, that scene is dope as fuck. But it's just
Remember
now,
this?
upon rewatching,
He's like, "Put the
comparing
whoop
it to these things,
It's hard.
yeah, it is. But
What would you say goes number two?
Tim, move your mic.
You think episode 8?
I mean, I would debate depending on what we're talking about, whether it's scene or lightsaber fight. I would say that it's either Jedi or episode 8 because I do think episode 8 is the best choreographed lightsaber scene we've ever.
It was
got.
pretty fucking cool.
It was fucking
was
cool.
pretty cool.
It lasted as long as it needed to, and there was so much emotion in it. And the leading into that scene, like with Snoke dying, and then leading out of that scene with the who's gonna turn and how's that gonna happen, I thought there was so much emotion there, equal to what we've seen in the Luke versus Vader fights.
Greg, where do you come down on this? You have to be the deciding vote.
No, much like I would.
You're absconding now?
If we would ever, talk about DC stuff on here, I know you guys would sit down with your amateur opinions. I'm going to sit down with my amateur opinion about Star Wars here and not muddy the waters. All the things I wanted to ruin this with have been eliminated. Which is
Remember
some
when
bullshit.
Superman
ruin
fucking
this with.
comes back from the dead, looks at all of them, and you're like,
good.
oh man, Cyborg's
So
gonna
good.
fuck up. Cyborg fucked up. Here we go.
I was talking
and then
about
he beats the fuck out of
I was
everyone.
talking about everybody. I was talking to, I think, those same visiting friends or whatever, and they were like, "How was?" I'm like, but the end, you're like, I'm like, I'll explain to you where it's like at the pinnacle of its worst, and then how it got good. And I'm like, so they like reanimate him with a lightning bolt through a mother box, and his eye snaps awake. And they're like, Frankenstein. I'm like, exactly like Frankenstein.
That's funny.
Sorry, I just ruined part of Justice League, but seriously, you didn't give a shit. Nick is putting some things on the board now. I can't believe that like you guys don't dig Yoda versus the Emperor.
Here's my list.
Failed I have. Exile I must go.
Greg, please do me a favor. After the show,
No.
just YouTube it.
No.
Just watch it.
I got things to do.
In or out of context.
He's just flipping it around, all flippity fucking
Yes,
floppy.
that's the best, and he's bobbing off. And that's the thing is like
Crawling in this little shit pipe, just fucking.
a lot of people don't remember when they're throwing those fucking giant like car-looking motherfuckers that's where the Galactic Senate's at.
Yeah,
meaning
no.
that ET's
A lot of people don't remember.
ET's people sat in one of those.
Yeah, they did.
ET's people.
You didn't see him there. It's a hidden Easter egg.
It's not hidden.
But
It's,
it's the
I mean, it's
same
like
thing.
a wide shot.
ET's
One of the-
back there.
It's definitely not a wide shot. It's definitely not hidden. It's definitely like, hey, here's the ET people. They're here.
Intergalactic Senate, man.
Got
Galactic
home.
Senate.
Intergalactic planetary.
Here's my list, Tim. Return of the Jedi, Duel of the Fates, the Snoke throne room scene, Empire Strikes Back, the Force scene. That's my top 5 list. I could
Was
be
that 5 to 1 or 1 to 5?
That is 1 to 5. Number 1, top with a bullet, the fight in Return of the Jedi in the throne room scene. And then I like Duel of the Fates. Then I'm gonna go with that scene that we saw in episode 8. Then I'll put Empire I could go back and forth on the last 2 here.
Hold on,
I could go Forest above Empire because Empire wasn't a very good scene. It just had a great payoff.
Yeah.
You know?
A lot of these scenes I can kind of just mismatch any which way. I do think Duel of the Fates is too high. You
think it's too high?
Although Duel of the Fates needs to be on the list.
Gotta
and
be
I
on the
agree
list.
with that.
Kevin's showing me Yoda versus Emperor, and it's as
Yeah.
good as I remember.
And it's as good as you remember.
Look at him go! Look at him go! What a little guy. Yoda's like Yoda's scary because like if he was in the room with you, he could bounce off the wall and enter you from any one of your orifices. You
really
don't know.
could.
He's got these claws.
He could
He'll
just-
go up the asshole.
He
He's
just
not afraid.
disappear for a second. He just
Yeah.
disappears and
Look
he's
at this.
gone.
This is cool. What are you guys talking about? Now, granted, I mean, the Emperor looks like he's in a muumuu, which is a shitty look for him. But here we are. This is what I was talking about. A lot of people don't realize this is the Galactic Senate.
Where
They
is
can't
ET
see this.
sit?
They can't see this.
They remember it. If you're trying to sync it right now, the Emperor is grimacing. Yoda is grimacing. They're in a standoff.
Yoda looks
They're
so
on
real
the
too. He's
thing.
so real. That's what
Yoda
was
just
great
did,
about
like,
this movie
3
is
flips
all of the
back to
effects
back.
look
Oh,
so real.
Wait, this one actually doesn't
Emperor
look
just
bad,
opened
Nick.
his mouth like a screaming hedgehog.
And
now
now he's
he's
throwing
now
pods
he's throwing the pods.
Was
All
it-
right.
And Yoda doing everything that Yoda usually does, which is not actually using any force power. He's just kind of running around, dodging giant pods. He could stop them because he's every bit as powerful as the Emperor. But I guess
No, the
we're
Emperor's
not in this
stronger.
world there. Hi.
What's
there.
also interesting
Hi.
here is like, yeah, guess what? The Emperor just showing why he's a badass.
He's a bad
Whereas
motherfucker.
like fucking Snoke was a giant hologram and then a little bitch and now he's dead.
All right,
so
so
that's
we-
where that ended.
Going back to the topic, we
you
don't
go.
have an official
Show me him crawl through the
list.
shit pipe.
Here are our top
They
5.
don't have it on this.
Not in any particular order because we'll reach around. Let us know in the comments what your top 5 lightsaber
Wait, there
battles
is no
are.
particular order? I thought you
Well, this is my order, but Tim says he has got to think about it a little bit more.
It's not that I have to think about it.
Well, where would you go? We're top to bottom.
I mean,
Don't even think. Don't think. Don't
I'm
think.
gonna
Don't
throw
think.
it out, and I'm
Give it
gonna
to me.
stand by it
Give it to me.
as of now.
Yeah.
Snoke,
Snoke.
Jedi.
This is 1 to 5.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, 1 being the best.
One
Yeah,
being the best.
one being
Snoke
the
being
You
the
said
best.
Snoke is the highest.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because we're talking lightsaber fights, we're talking choreography. I'm there. Snoke, Jedi.
Duel of Fates. Gotta be. You can't put
No.
that far down.
I can.
Empire, dude. Empire's got to go
Yoda's
next.
falling right now.
Forest.
You are.
Then Forest.
New shit.
Yeah, man. Because they get it. Forest.
Get in the little pipe.
I'll do Duel of the Fates and then Empire.
Okay, that's a strong list.
Damn, Empire is dead last that list.
I mean, it's because I put Jedi so high, and again,
Yeah,
they're-
me
those
too.
those two are so.
That's a respectable list. I could go that way as well. I could see that being. Yeah, my thing is the Forest and Empire might be a little bit interchangeable on my list, but I'm gonna give Empire. I'm gonna stick with my list. There it is, ladies and
Who
gentlemen.
are these people?
That is Galactus. Actually, weird because he had a Senate seat too. Gave it up to become a planet eater. I was like, I'm gonna get out there and eat some
wow, I
planets.
didn't realize this tied into Marvel. That
Didn't
early.
care.
They're
Didn't-
retconning
well, they're all the
it.
same.
Andy Cortez, everybody. Wearing a red shirt, ready
Andy-
to have some fun here.
Work starts
Wow,
at-
the live
at
show is just
9:30.
your ass.
Oh my god, yeah. Oh shit. The live
There's
show.
no internet, and so we're just LTEing off my phone the live show for people on Patreon. So when you walked into Mug for the camera, it was just your tight little buns.
You're chicharrones.
Nope. Nobody
now
said
it's your
that.
balls. Now it's your shirt.
Chicharrones.
It's still your shirt, no face.
Is it like sparkly though?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's a
Yeah,
good.
it's
It's a
pretty
Res
sparkly.
shirt right there. Res Infinite. You get that on
All right.
PS4.
All right.
Also on your PlayStation VR. Play it in PlayStation VR.
It's PlayStation VR.
Coming again
To save the motherfucking day, yeah.
Cool.
That was good.
We doing another topic?
I don't think we should. I mean, it's an
It was
hour.
good. It was
We
an
did an
episode.
hour and a half.
We had 2 hearty topics.
I want to
though.
meander and then we'll end it and then go into it. But I don't know. How you doing?
I'm doing good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm
You
doing
ever thought about
pretty
getting
well.
those symbols tattooed on your forearm?
PlayStation?
No, these two.
The bat symbol?
Oh, bat symbol and
the
Superman? No.
Superman symbol.
As I've said, I could see Kind of Funny logo here. I could then but then it's a question. I got nothing. I could do Kind of Funny games over here. I could do Sutro Tower. I could do the PlayStation sacred symbols.
You could do your mom. I just want you to know. If you got Jamie Kennedy on your
photo of
forearm,
Jamie
that'd be
Kennedy?
amazing.
Andy, what are you doing?
And just put,
right
here's
now?
what you do. Here's what you do. You put Jamie Kennedy, you put the year she was born, you put a dash. Leave the space open.
Jesus, that's dark.
Jesus Christ.
Funny as, funny as shit, though. Funny as shit.
I was so confused by how this contraption was working that I thought Kevin had somehow piped in the video feed into your phone. I was so fucking confused.
I mean, it's pretty good.
Andy, you're
looking.
Because
pretty.
I thought you were doing like a
You're pretty.
webcam
You're so
front camera.
pretty, Andy.
But
Andy's
then that wouldn't have
pretty.
made sense that they showed my butt, that they saw my butt.
It's a clean shot. It's the cool rig. It's the cool
The
rig
fun
experience.
thing about that, like predicting my mom's death, is
Yeah.
that I could see there. Like it'd be a fun bit if we were on camera a lot together. It'd be a fun bit on camera if then I took I had like a magic marker, and anytime she just pissed me off, I just wrote like tomorrow's date.
Death Note it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Well, just I'm more indicating that I was gonna kill her.
Oh, I see. I see. Like you're dead. This is the
What would
last
you do
day.
if I walked in with a tattoo of your face on my arm?
I would love it.
Yeah,
I would love it.
You would like it.
Here's what would happen. I would love it initially, and then I would start to. It would subtly eat at me that there was something wrong with it. Something would be wrong. My teeth would be too dark or whatever. My nose a little too big. My eyes a little too far apart, and it would grate on me. Have to cut your arm off.
Your face on a
Yeah,
goat's
you'd
body.
Have to fucking Star
That's
Wars it.
dope.
Yeah?
Because I'm a
On
Capricorn.
goat's body?
I'm a Capricorn, which is the goat.
Isn't it like a
Somebody
weird half
please
goat?
Photoshop.
No,
Nick's
somebody
face on
get
a
Nick's
goat.
body on a. Or no, somebody gets Nick's face on a goat's body and get it tattooed on you.
Do it
It's
like
easy.
this, like I'm looking over my goat butt shoulder. Look, so I need the goat. I
Are
need
you-
the goat.
Is the
You
goat
missed a good one,
standing?
Andy.
The goat butt is standing toward the camera, so you're seeing the goat's brown hole, the 2 hole, and then I'm looking over the
I
goat's
hate
shoulder
it
like
when
this.
Nick talks about buttholes.
Oh, do I get to
He
finally see?
always
Am I
makes
gonna
it
see
sound so
Yoda walk into the
nasty.
pipe?
I think so.
Yeah, there it is.
He's so scared.
Why did he do any of this?
He had to escape, Nick.
I mean, he had the Emperor on the ropes.
No, I meant
if he would have
George
got back up there, he could have fucking killed him.
Money, Nick. Money.
Yeah, good point, Kev.
I mean, you all wanted more stories and you got them. That's the problem. We did like 15 episodes of GameOverGreggy show and people were like, we want more. And we're like, here you go.
Listen.
We'll ride this bitch into the ground.
Listen, the thing is, you
here
made
we
a
are.
comment. You made an offhanded comment earlier where you were joking a little bit, but it's very actually kind of true. Where you're saying that Star Wars right now is a little bit more for mainstream people. That's what they're making the movies for, and I
it's
think
for
I
the-
could agree with that.
I
It's for-
cannot agree with that at all.
It's no longer
Period.
for dorks like you. It's for popular kids like Andy.
no, there's-
that have
it's for
diverse
both.
interests.
I think they're
They
making
would
it.
have got Ryan Johnson do it if that was the case.
Well, in my opinion, having watched The Last Jedi, I came to the conclusion that what I want from Star Wars is just not necessarily what they're going for anymore. And I get that. And it's not a bad thing. I've been really harsh against The Last Jedi, and I'm just letting everyone know right now that I'm not going to fucking let off that gas pedal at all.
Somebody's got to.
I just want you guys to know that. Having said that, though, I understand why people like it. And it's just different from what I wanted it to be. I don't know that they'll ever give me that.
Yeah, 'cause
right?
you wanted it to be good.
Well, I wanted more of a Rogue One experience where it was a little darker and a little bit more adult, and I didn't get that in this, and that's okay.
Here's my thing: is somebody who doesn't is not a Star Wars fanboy, he enjoys them fine, whatever. You know what I mean? Nothing makes me more angry than when people defend this new Star Wars and say, well, I like it because it did something different.
Yeah.
It didn't do anything fucking different.
Fuck you, Empire did something different. It really did something different. The fucking bad guys won, and they fucking won hard.
What would have been really
They went
different
hard.
is if, Rey went to the dark side and Kylo went good. What would have been different is if Rey went to the dark side and joined Kylo, and then they have to figure that out. What would have been different is if Kylo went to the good side and they brought him down, and suddenly he's hanging out with his mom again. The dad he just fucking killed.
Yeah.
He's hanging out with all these other motherfuckers that have been trying to kill him. That would be different and cool.
Yeah.
Instead, we are the exact fucking same Star Wars story as always.
What would have been really
The Force
different
doesn't matter.
is if-
There's no good or bad lies. That's good and bad.
What if he was like, hey, come with me, let's kill our past, and she was like, okay.
Yeah.
They make out, then they do a sock puppet thing with Snoke's head. And like, oh, I'm Snoke.
That would have been
I'm
really
from
different.
Holland.
That would have been better.
I would have
I'm
liked
from
something
Holland.
different.
And it's kind of
Wait,
everyone's.
why was he from Holland?
I don't know.
Sorry, just didn't know if I missed something
Just
there.
he thinks they're I'm from Holland. Oh, my belly's full of gold.
Oh, no, it's Goldfinger. Okay.
Yeah, it was Goldfinger to begin with, I think.
Oh, I missed that part. If you didn't know, ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Game Over Greggy show each and every week. 3, sometimes 4 best friends gather on this table, each bringing a random topic discussion for your amusement. If you like that, head over to patreon.com/kindafunny, where $1 lets you watch live. Come rain or shine, we're there, even when it just eats up all my data. Of course, you can spend more money, get the show as an MP3 or a video early on Friday, a week before it goes live on youtube.com/kindafunny. There's also all sorts of goodies, perks, and things to do there. Come be on the show. Get fan mail, of course, this month, January. If you do it, you'll get a Valentine from us come February. So, if no one's gonna send you a Valentine Day card, I fucked it up. You're like, a Valentine's Day. I fucked it up.
That's fine. You
But
were
once the
so
train
good
was out of
there.
station, you know what I mean?
Let it go. Let it go off the rails. No, God damn it.
Yeah. Oh, he
Stop.
blocked it. Good
Oh,
job.
he
But
did
you,
block it.
you sacrificed your phone, though.
I did.
Technically, I was doing Gold Member, I think was the name of the character's name. Goldfinger was the original
real
pun.
thing?
But Gold Member, wasn't
Never
he Gold
saw.
Member?
I never saw Gold Member.
Not good.
So funny.
Yeah.
He said,
a great
oh,
So funny.
he's just a little guy.
I liked 1 and 2, but yeah, couldn't
were
get into
great.
it, man. When is the next
Did
one? I
not age
assume the new
well.
one's coming eventually.
No?
Is there another one coming?
Mike Myers has to be shopping on a
No,
script right now for
we're
Austin
good.
Powers.
For a while
And he
he
wants
was.
Jonah
Good.
Hill in it or that fucking kid from Whiplash.
No, we're good. We're good.
Miles
Teller.
Teller. Until next time, it's been our pleasure to serve you.
Mr. Fantastic.
You
Man.
want the pointing?
Yeah, I'm still recording because then we'll just do the live
show this way?
Yeah.
Okay.
So go ahead and do the pointing whenever you're ready.
Thanks for watching the Game Over Greggy show, everybody. Sorry. Thanks for watching the Game Over Greggy show, everybody. Sorry if that Star Wars stuff made you really mad. Click up here to subscribe to the channel. Click down here to support us on Patreon. Click over here for a bunch of other Game Over Greggy show episodes. And click down here for Kevin's Fun Hole. Where it takes you, nobody knows, but Paul is unhappy.
God.
Right. Don't call it my fun hole again.
It's his fun hole.
Oh, Lord. That may be the worst thing you've ever said.
It's because it's gross in
And
there.
now it's your post show. Thank you, first off, for all the folks watching live. I'm going to show the chat. I will tell you what, man. I'm pretty impressed with how the YouTube app has done all this stuff of us. Like,
It's held up that we
just
know
do
of.
it. I mean, I wonder how it sounded. I don't know.
how did it sound,
it
everybody?
sounds
There's
like
like
terrible.
super low latency. They can actually tell us how it sounded, and
Yeah.
we'll know soon enough because they're already talking about Kevin's Fun Hole. That should let you know. And
nasty.
of course, if you're watching later on patreon.com/kindafunny at that $10 level, thank you so much for all of your support. You make it happen. What's wrong?
It's already 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be a late one tonight.
Fuck.
Going to be late.
No, it's easy.
Whosoever
We'll talk about
holds this
Thor and we'll
hammer.
get out of here.
If he possesses the power.
You guys forgot about...
God, Anthony Hopkins is a great
There you
actor.
go.
Early today on Colin and Greg Live. That's not the name of that show.
Not anymore. It's gone through so many different names.
The Kind of Funny Morning Show. Someone in the chat was saying that they're amazed that Fantastic Four, the 2015 one or whatever,
The Michael B.
that came
Jordan,
out,
Miles Teller one, yeah.
didn't ruin everyone's careers. I'm like, man, that's a really solid point.
No,
It-
the movies don't ruin people's careers anymore.
they
They
do,
do if you
though.
do too many of them in a
all
row.
the
But I
time.
feel like it wasn't, it's one of those you look at that movie and you're like, it was no one's fault. And none of them were necessarily the ones that were selling the movie, right? Like, I feel like it only really ruins your career if you're The Rock and people are going to see you and you give us Baywatch over and over again. That's going to start to hurt. Jumanji, thank God, is supposed to be pretty good. Have you seen The Fantastic
I
Four?
haven't.
It's,
You saw it?
oh yeah. Oh, I see every movie. I see everything.
You got that movie pass.
Well, no, it's on like HBO. Like it's you should watch it because the tone of it is really serious. And I'm like, oh, that could have been cool. And then just nothing really happens.
Jack
They go to a
2882
planet.
in the chat says, I can't believe how off-putting they all get when talking about The Last Jedi. Seriously. It's a hard thing to get over when something you love strays away from being what you want it to be.
Yeah, man. It sucks.
It's not fun, but it's also
And we're hurt. And we're going to be hurt for a while.
It's never going to be okay unless I take Tim's advice and go see it again with a little perspective. Maybe
No, man.
maybe I'll start to like it.
You won't.
But I have watched The Phantom Menace 3 or 4 times now, and that pod racing scene is egregiously long. It's too long, and the Watto
many-
stuff.
Man, it needs to be 4 hours longer, dude.
4 hours longer.
Mark
No,
Freeman says,
the
oh, by the way,
pirates,
Greg,
man.
got a date for Kind of Funny Prom. That's thanks to Friday. Kind of Funny Games Daily. Thanks.
Oh, shit.
My dude. My
More-
dude.
Jamie, of course, appreciates us making sure this happens.
Hell yeah.
This was a controversial GOG, says Rudy Ortiz Jr.
Hell yeah, man. Fuck all that
Rudy
stuff.
Oh, we're gonna take some flack on that Trump stuff for sure.
No,
but
just
we'll
the
see
Star
what
Wars
happens.
shit you guys did.
Oh, really? It's a fun. You know, we're doing something right where people get less pissed at us for talking about Trump and more pissed at us for talking about Star Wars. At least as a humanity, we've got our priorities on straight.
What did y'all say about Trump?
Nothing. We just had a conversation about where we're at socially.
Yeah, surprise.
Weird. Yeah, weird how.
Unlikable qualities, huh?
I thought you were eating Nestle Crunch Bar. I was gonna be proud of you, but instead it's some fucking Nutri-Grain.
Same difference.
No, it's not actually.
Same amount of sugar and carbohydrates in it.
That might be true.
Oh, this fucking guy. Listen to him.
I'm just letting you know. You're eating a Nutri-Grain bar that probably has the same sugar count as a Nestle's Crunch Bar, and you think it's healthy for you.
Squats, dude. Fucking this.
I'm going to do squats later.
Fucking guy.
Do a pull
And if you want to see my
like
my gains, you can go to Instagram.com/Nick_Scarpino and check it out. There's a picture before and after picture of me that doesn't look much different.
Adam Hogg.
It was one of those things before I posted it. I was like, I can't. There's not that big of it. I mean, you can tell a little bit of a difference. I've got more muscle on me, but I'm like, man, I didn't want to post it because I was like, people are gonna be so disappointed with me. Like, I don't look anything.
So there's
I don't
a couple
look good.
things I want to say about this thing.
Yeah.
Bad before.
No, here's the thing. You look way better than you did before.
Do I?
Way better.
Thanks,
yeah,
Tim.
You never looked bad.
Sure.
But you look way better than you did. However, those pictures, I feel, are the real before and after. They're not as seen on TV before and after.
I could've-
like, you look like different fucking people. It's like, looking at those pictures, I did have a moment where I was like, did Nick fuck up?
No, yeah, I know.
And post just two of the same
Yeah,
picture.
if you look closely, that's the thing. Is I was like, I should probably like this better. Maybe put some makeup on. I'm like, fuck that.
Nah, you did it right.
Fuck
you
that.
did it
You have
right.
to jut out your stomach and look sad in the before.
I think I was.
Really?
No, actually, no. In the before, I was sucking in it as hard as possible, but I wasn't flexing.
You just got arrested.
In the after, I'm flexing. I'm like, oh, I'm just holding the phone. Meanwhile, the back
love
of my
you,
triceps are like shaking because I'm flexing so fucking hard. It's hard, man. It's hard. Are you passing Andy a note?
I'm passing Andy a note.
Andy, take the fucking note, you monster. What's wrong with
you?
you?
Like me? Yes, no, or maybe.
No, I think it says something about
Yes,
Kevin's smelly
no.
jelly hole or whatever Greg said.
Jelly hole. That's way worse. I think I called it his fun hole.
Fun hole. Which one was it to you in your brain? Which one was it? Was it his butthole or his mouth hole?
Oh, it's his butthole.
What,
Yeah, I think so, too. It was to me
What are
as
you guys
well.
talking about?
Your fun hole.
What the fuck are you saying?
It's the part of your body you want to play with most.
Jesus.
What's wrong with you?
It's the last undiscovered land.
It is the undiscovered country.
There's very few things I want to play with less than Kevin's butthole.
Man, and especially with
Tim,
with
have
the
respect for
stuff
it. It's
he's
my
been
fun
eating
hole.
lately.
Mr. Yasman 300 is spamming that WB and DC hired the directors of the Vacation movie to do Flashpoint. But what I had heard is that it gets better the other way. Is that they had hired two of the writers on Spider-Man: Homecoming to direct.
Oh, that's
that.
smart.
And they're probably the same people. I'm just saying that.
That'd be my guess,
It's all
yeah.
about fucking titles, Mr. Yasman, with your fake fucking news. But go ahead and tell me more about how fucking Yoda isn't a cool guy to fucking Star Wars with.
What?
Hey, Yoda, what are you doing tonight?
missed hell,
You want to Star
Andy.
Wars with
You
me?
missed hell.
You want to go Star Wars with me tonight? Andy, what do you think about this ranking? These are the two rankings of the top 5
I did hear that Charles
lightsaber
Jacobson.
duels.
Do it, Bruce.
Return of the Jedi. Mine is Return of the Jedi, Duel of the Fates, the Snoke scene, Empire Strikes Back, and then the Forest scene with Rey and Kylo. How do you feel about that list?
You think Rain Kyle's
Mike! Oh,
This,
wait,
the
I guess
first
it doesn't
one,
matter.
not the last one. The one that just happened was pretty high up on my
We
list.
count that as Snoke.
That's Snoke.
Oh, okay. What's the second one?
Second one is Duel of the Fates.
Duel of the Fates. Oh. Oh, man. I don't know. To me, Duel of the Fates is the best thing on the planet.
It was close on mine.
But what about Emperor versus Yoda?
He's a monster, right?
Andy, do you remember
Call him a fucking
crawling-
monster.
Him crawling out of that fucking... crawling out of the bike with fucking
What about Anakin versus
fear in his eyes.
Here's what's so egregious
Obi-Wan.
about that, right? Is that Yoda gets beat
So
and then
scared.
just gives up.
Yeah.
We're done.
Oh, I mean, just
I'm
like
gonna go
me.
live on this planet over here and never talk to anyone again. No, we're not.
Into
No.
exile, I must
Don't
go.
bother fighting with the rest of the rebellion. That's still going, by the way. Remember when we start New Hope? It's still going. Yoda just goes, I failed. And you know what? I'm old as fuck.
failed.
So I'm going to go to Dagobah and live in a fucking swamp where everything looks
Where
like
do
split
I get all
pea
these
soup.
bowls? Who knows?
Call up Amazon.
Oh, I don't have a list in there.
No. That was our. Let's draw from that list. That's Tim. That's Nick. Greg just he absconded. He abstained.
He just wanted Yoda and Watto. That's it.
But there's no taste at this table outside of what I have, and so I didn't want to, go in there and embarrass everybody.
Tan in the holes.
Well, Andy came all the way in to talk about Thor. I assume we should film.
Let's do it.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been your Game Over Greggy show, post show. Thank you so much for watching. Remember, you can get this on patreon.com/kindafunny at the dollar level. You can watch us record it live. Later on, you can watch it on Friday, a full week. Well, I guess actually, when you're talking about the post show, it goes up on Friday. That's the last place you'll ever see it. Never going to go live for everybody else again. Thank you all for your support. Consider giving more. Otherwise, we got to get rid of Andy. But we haven't told him yet. Don't tell him that. Don't tell him that. Until next time, it's been a pleasure to serve you.
Cutting.
Skizip says GameStop TV. When you back?
Next month, right?
Next month. Greg Miller.
Cheer! Oh my God, my phone's on fire.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be really
His
hot.
Bye, everybody. Love
phone
ya!
is on fire.
Cutting.